Mickey Cavill. This guy again. Yo, yo, yo. Hello and welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and today it is the battle of the mid 2021 comic book movies. That is Black Widow, The Suicide Squad, and Shang-Chi. We have been inundated recently and potentially spoilt with how many comic book movies we are getting as fans. And I think that in itself should be, of course, for celebration. But you know, as we always have to argue over everything. I've got my frequent co-host that way, Philosophical Pickle with me. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? I'm doing fantastic as usual. Let's disagree about some stuff. I mean, come on. It's the usual stuff here. We're probably going to disagree for like an hour and a half. Let's do it.
That's what we do. We've already got some comments here. Hey, boys, how's it going? Shang-Chi admit was better than Black Widow, but Suicide Squad wins for obvious reasons. Wow,
Hell
okay,
yeah,
we've got So Blasted Fenya. Fenya, jump on if you want, bro.
Yeah, So Blasted said he needs us right now.
Yeah, I needed this live right now. Cool. How do I get to Fenya's Discord, right? I'll just put it in the. I'll put the invite in the comments for you, Fenya, if you're interested in joining.
Yeah.
But we wanted to take some time just to talk briefly about Michael K. Williams, who passed away. I think it was today. Was his body or something. I'm saying it so horribly, but like today he was found essentially. Michael
I believe Williams. It was like 15 hours ago. So I think I shared the article. If you want to pull it up.
Yeah, please do.
All right, I got it shared. You can pull it up whenever.
All right, cool. Yeah, so Michael K. Williams, Omar from The Wire, dies. I'm really sad about this one. Chillmonger, feel free to join as well.
2 p.m. 2 p.m. yesterday. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel sad about this one. One, actually, this guy was doing a lot for the Black community. That was one thing. Oh, hey, man. Fenya, how you doing, bro? Been too long, bro.
It's been a while, bro.
And yeah, it has. And Nerd Man, you don't even need to use Discord anymore. I've been following you on Twitter for months.
Oh shit!
You never followed
an old
though.
Fucking man. He's an old fucking.
Oh
man.
Really? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I've
even been commenting on your tweets all the time, trying to get your attention.
Nerdman is the Clint Eastwood of YouTube. He makes way too many videos he shouldn't make because he's way too old, but he does it anyway, and they're pretty good.
Pretty much.
All right, I'm following you now, dude. All right. So yeah, no, we were talking about Michael K. Williams. I have to be honest, I haven't seen I know he's most famous from The Wire, but outside that, I haven't seen many of him in the central role. I saw him obviously most recently in I think it's called What They Think About Us, or it was
it's like How They See Us,
about How They See Us in the Central Park 5 story, which he was brilliant in. He was like really frustrating actually as a character. I fucking hated him, but he did a great performance in it. He was the dad of one of the boys, and he really pissed me off, but that was his job. So and then I saw him in something else. He's always been good. I think it was the Edward Norton movie. I saw him in. He's always been really good in that, and I know that he was doing a lot of stuff with the Black community as well. Doing a lot of work, in high schools, as a mentor to a lot of kids from those schools. So I just think it's horrible. I don't know how he's died. Why? It's 54. It's pretty young. And
It
I
says
think
they're investigating, looking into a drug overdose, but nobody knows yet.
Yeah,
Way too
I
early
heard
to tell.
about heroin overdose.
Oh, really? Man, why these guys, these talented guys like this? It's the same thing that happened with
over and over again.
Philip.
I mean, it's getting very
What was his
depressing.
name?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, dude. What? Imagine the performances he would have done. He was such a great actor.
Exactly.
He would have
sad.
inevitably joined the MCU at some point.
DC,
Yep.
I think he definitely would have joined DCEU, like at some point. Yeah, Michael K. And Philip Seymour.
I'm talking about Philip Seymour, not this guy. I mean, this
Philip
guy
Seymour would have been DC. He would have been the Penguin, dude. You know he would have been the Penguin.
Dude, I actually would have loved him as like a chunky Riddler. That would have been completely fine with me.
Yeah,
Chunky Riddler.
Dude, I would have preferred him as the Penguin, but let's be real. Philip Seymour Hoffman could do anything, and this guy was really, really good as well as an actor. Michael K. Williams. I didn't see him in The Wire enough. I've only seen season 1 of The Wire, but again, you could see he was a great performer. Oh, Paul, man, what's going on? Hello, my dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, we're getting into it then. We're just talking about Michael K. Williams at the moment. Did you see any performances by him, Paul? Or
yeah, man. The first performance I actually saw of him, a lot of people think it would be The Wire, but it's actually not. I only watched The Wire recently, like maybe 2 years ago. I binged it. But I actually saw him Boardwalk Empire first. Because that show's fire in itself. But yeah, he was amazing in that. He's really good. He's like one of those characters where one of those actors that he's really good at like character acting. Like he's just really good at taking a character and making it his own. So like he was really good at that. And then I saw him obviously in The Wire later on. And yeah, he was a phenomenal actor. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's just believable. Like just believable. That was like the main thing about him. Like you just as soon as he came on screen, he had the presence of whatever character he was playing, and you believed. Like in Boardwalk Empire, he plays this gangster, and he like comes on screen immediately, and I'm like, I just was like, this guy is like captivating. Immediately, he was on screen. He was like holding his own. Yeah, you feared him immediately. He was like he meant business. So yeah. It's a loss, the acting world.
Yeah, it is definitely.
Yeah, it is.
By the way, did you see him in the Central Park 5 show? Or did you have not seen that yet? Okay, he's really good in that as well. And what about you, Pickle and Fenya? What things did you see him in?
Well, originally I used to watch a couple episodes of The Wire, but I wasn't really big into the show. But what really sold me on this actor was this movie I saw once. The Assassin's Creed movie. I'll admit that movie pretty much sucked if you're a fan of the games, but you have to admit his acting was phenomenal in that.
Yeah, which one? Sorry,
Assassin's Creed, the movie. Assassin's
Creed. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was just looking up the character. His name was Chalky White. That was his name in Boardwalk Empire.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I've seen him in, he's been phenomenal. So it wouldn't surprise me. But it's just I didn't see his main thing, The Wire. But I was just like, also just recently I saw he was doing some stuff in black schools as well, and like personally going there. And he's got like an organization where he personally goes to the schools and talks to kids from ethnic minorities or just like kids from poor backgrounds as a mentor, getting them into acting, drama, all those kind of things. So he's a really cool guy, apparently. And I mean, in a way, I'm hoping obviously it's not a drug overdose. I really am. But if it is, with Philip Seymour Hoffman as well going, I hope that, I don't know, whatever actors are out there who are supremely talented like these guys, like just seek some help, because you never know what can happen doing that kind of stuff. It's just it's just sad, you know. I think about the stuff Philip Seymour Hoffman could have done by now, you know, and it makes me unhappy, you know. Same with this guy, you know. In a few years, it's really going to be like, man, he could have been in Blade or something, you know, like as the bad guy or some shit. No, he could have been in, you know, like I'm just seeing, I could see him as like the bad guy in Blade or something. Why is that racist?
Oh, he can only be in the black movie?
Explain to me why that's racist.
How is that racist? Seriously. Could have played well in that. I agree on that. How is it?
So, Nerdman, I'm not going to lie and act like I love this guy. I mean, he was in like things periodically that I've seen. I looked at his filmography. He's been in a lot of like garbage, a lot of like straight to DVD action movies. Sure. But The Wire, Boardwalk Empire, the Assassin's Creed movie, that other movie you've said that I didn't see. Like, he's been in a few things where he was like really phenomenal. But like, he's a good actor. I'm not gonna say that I loved him. I'm not gonna be like, oh my, I miss him so much. I can't say that. I'm not gonna lie. But
no, when he's given the right vehicle,
well, I was telling you before the stream, I think one of the most important things that he did was the fact that he played a gay gangster back in 2002, which really broke that stigma for a lot of people who think that you can't be gay in the hood. Like a lot of people in the hood, that are in impoverished communities, think that like it's not okay to be gay, and he was just like an openly gay bad mofo, and like it was he broke boundaries. I'd never seen that before. So that's probably the most important thing he did on screen. But I mean, most importantly, I'm sad for his family. I'm not really sad about him as an actor because I didn't really care about him as an actor. But I mean, sad that he passed, and I hope that he can be sad
for him as a human being.
Look, I'm not even trying to say, like, as I said, I've seen him in a few things. I happen to have seen him in like really, really good things, you know, but he's not on the same level to me as like how I felt about Philip Seymour Hoffman, for instance, because I'd seen him in so many things, like where I thought he was great. But this guy, I just felt like from the little I'd seen him in, you know, there was going to be a point as his career developed where he was going to just start hitting his stride and really, really, you know, knocking out the park.
Well, he's been acting for 20 years, Nerd, man. I mean, I think he like hit his stride with Boardwalk Empire.
No, I don't think so. Dude, go and watch the Central Park 5 thing, dude. He was fantastic in that.
I would probably never watch that.
Well, you know, don't watch it. I don't care. I'm just saying, like, he was fantastic in the fucking role. What's Paul?
Maybe.
Dude, you should go watch. You should definitely watch The Wire. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh, I know that.
Someone's getting whipped.
Fenrir's like beating somebody or like smacking an ass.
Shania, what are you doing?
Not much. I'm around a construction site.
You're on a construction site.
I'm in a cafe around a construction site.
Oh, right.
He's doing construction on himself, Nerd Man. He's growing. He's changing.
What the hell's going on,
man? Doing some parenting.
All right. By the way, hands up here, everyone who's an MCU fan.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh well.
Because I've got something for everyone to react to, and I want everyone who's an MCU fan to point out one falsehood, just one, in this analysis of the MCU, and I'm going to be doing that a little bit later.
Okay.
Oh, Fenya, did you have your hands up or hands down? I don't know why I laughed at hands down. Okay, good. Yeah, Jazz. Good. So we're going to be reacting to something I think that's going to beautifully express everything I feel about the MCU a little bit later. But now onto the main course. We are going to be discussing Black Widow versus the Suicide Squad versus Shang-Chi. Who comes out victorious? Who is the ultimate winner? And according to this stream, by the end of it, after the debate is finished, after all the smoke is cleared, what we announce as the best movie will be forever known in the world as the best movie. That's how important we are.
The anyway, best movie ever?
No, the best out of these three.
The best not the best ever. I still think Infinity War gets it at that, but
Infinity
War. None of these guys can.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I enjoyed Endgame.
It was nice to see you again, Fenya. We've got to. Yeah. Okay.
I really think that all of us have like a different opinion on which one was the best.
Fenya was working on some construction. It was so lovely to see him again, but he had to leave a little bit early.
Wait. You and Paul are gonna agree again. 2 streams in a row. I don't like this. This is weird. It's like makes me itchy.
It depends. All right, so depends on what he says.
It depends.
No, I know.
So, I mean, how should we start this? I'm gonna
wait. Are we measuring? So their verse is it the 3? So it's 3.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I don't know how we should start this. Should we start this like? Should we just open up with how we feel, like how we'd order them?
So so never mind. You go in order. Just let's say which one we think was the best.
Yeah.
All right.
Out of the 3,
for me, the best is quite easily. It's not even close. It's Black Widow.
Is that the one you enjoyed the most?
I don't even think it's close. Huh?
Is that the one you enjoyed the most?
I think it's the one I enjoyed the most, and it's the best movie.
Okay. Hands down, it's The Suicide Squad.
Okay. Fenya?
Well, he said it in the comments earlier. He agrees it's The Suicide Squad.
Okay, it's The Suicide Squad. And Paul?
It's Black Widow. Hands down, easily.
Of course it was Black Widow.
I don't even think it's close. It really isn't.
Can I just say this? I'm going to say this. Shang-Chi, I called boring. I like that more than I like the Suicide Squad.
Here's where we're gonna slightly.
I despise that movie. The more I've sat with that movie, the more I despise
it. Here's where we're gonna slightly differ. I'm gonna say The Suicide Squad is a better movie than Shang-Chi, but I like Shang-Chi more.
I can understand that.
That's the honest truth. If I was,
I can understand
like on a filmmaking, kind of perspective, I think James Gunn is a superior like filmmaker, maybe, or director, visually, whatever. But it's so mean-spirited as a film, and the humor is fucking. Not even it's cynical humor.
It's not funny.
I'll have to agree with. I'll have to agree with Paul and Nerdman on that one. The humor was.
The Suicide Squad is not funny. It's not a funny movie.
Yeah. But Snatch is really funny.
Dude, Snatch is universally agreed as one of the funniest movies ever made.
It kind of felt like they were trying to do the Guardian.
I got no idea. Pickle hates that movie. He's got some problems, man.
Really? I don't know what's wrong.
He does. He hates Snatch. I don't understand it, man.
Yeah. Do you not understand what they're saying, or what? Like,
that's exactly what it is. It's like Mike. He doesn't understand what they're saying either.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe that's it.
He's from the Deep South. He doesn't understand what they're saying.
All right. Back to the topic on hand. So, Fenya, how are you ranking these movies?
Well, I'm going to have to say I'm ranking Black Widow 3rd because just one reason. They ruined the character I really enjoyed. I really enjoy the character. Plus, the physics in that were pretty weird.
The physics
Natasha should have died numerous ways off. Yeah, but even
the physics in all of these movies were pretty weird, dude. You can't.
Can I just say something? Do you know what the creature at the end was called that was sucking the souls from people? It's called Katana. That was the creature at the end. It's Katana.
Okay. Yes. Okay, number 2 is Shang-Chi.
Sucks the souls from its victims, man.
Yes.
All right, go on. Let's hear it. Let's hear it out. Because I'm going to explain why Black Widow afterwards is hands down the best movie. But go on.
And then I'll explain why it's not. No.
Okay, Shang-Chi is number 2 because, well, despite a lot of problems that movie has, I'll admit the actor they did for the Mandarin was pretty good. I hated how they treated the Mandarin lore and did the rings because that's just super weak compared to the comics one. I have to admit, the comics rings beat this one. But the actor was good. I enjoyed some of the fight scenes, and I'm a huge fight scene fan, so pretty great. But out of that, nah, it wasn't pretty much. I hated the characters they added, Katie and the sister of Shang-Chi that was not in the lore. They altered a lot of Shang-Chi's lore on this one by making her mother and part of an ancient civilization.
Start reading Shang-Chi comics. This is what I don't get. Like, let's be honest. Nobody, like, really, has anybody here read, like, fucking Shang-Chi comics, like, for long periods of time?
I've been collecting since I was 13, but stopped around 30, 20,
it's Shang-Chi, dude. Nobody gives a shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
it's Kung Fu. I'm a huge Kung Fu fan.
Nerd man. I don't give a shit about Iron Man either.
No, I don't. Yeah, if they had have added like another character in Iron Man, I wouldn't have given it. Is Happy an original character from fucking the Iron Man comics? I don't know who he is.
Yeah, indeed. They altered a lot of his lore, specifically his mother, because fun fact in the comics, Shang-Chi was half white. So yeah. Plus, Fu Manchu was a character of his own, and he didn't even need freaking rings. He had magical powers. So yeah.
I mean, Nerdman, who was collecting Suicide Squad hardcore up until the first movie?
Pretty much no one.
Suicide Squad was a more famous comic than fucking Shang-Chi. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but not by Not by
Dude, it was famous because of the animated movies. Out of that,
yeah, from the animated movie Assault on Arkham, that's when it got famous.
Out of everything else, no one's been collecting Suicide Squad comics for a long time.
It was still a bit more famous than Shang-Chi because it had like...
It's like Under the Red Hood made flipping Jason Todd's story famous. Like
I'll admit, Under the Red Hood did make Jason Todd a lot more famous. That's how we got Death in the Family now.
Facts. That's why Death in the Family saw a resurgence. Death and Family come a resurgence after Under the Red Hood, man. Like the animated show, like movies make it like Flashpoint.
Exactly.
Let's get more focused though, because I'm going to go in on this. Like, so first of all, I'm going to explain why I like Shang-Chi more, even though I think Suicide.
I thought we were all going to rank him first.
Essentially.
Yeah, I'm sorry to finish this, but I only made it to 2.
Say, like, which one was like in order?
Oh, I thought you said Black Widow was the worst, and then you said
no. Finner's the only one who said his ranking.
Yeah, I'm the only one saying it.
Now I agree with Finner. Now I'll go to Paul.
And then that Suicide Squad takes the win.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. I enjoyed a couple than Black Widow. Come on.
Mainly because I enjoyed a couple of the characters, how they were developed and shown, but I did not enjoy the comedy in most of the team itself. Because I'm sorry to say, but I'm kind of sick of Harley Quinn and everything involving these characters. They're trying to give her this anti-crazy Deadpool hero vibe, but she's not Deadpool. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
So, yeah, Harley kind of kills it for me. Yeah, it doesn't work like that for me. But yeah, that's my right.
So you still got Suicide Squad above, then Shang-Chi, then Black Widow. That's what I'm understanding. Okay, even though you've got problems with the Suicide Squad as well. All right.
Pretty much.
All right. I'll go next. Okay, and I'm just going to say, for me, it is Black Widow. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put second the Suicide Squad. And it really bothers me. And by the end of this, I might even change my mind if Paul convinces me enough. Because in a way, it's the movie I dislike the most. But I just think it's competently made and put together to such a degree that Shang-Chi just isn't. But here's what I will say about Shang-Chi. At least there were some characters I cared about. Even though the story was all over the place and tones here and there, and you know, the best parts of it was the Asian cinematic kind of things that they alluded to, or sorry, not alluded to, but homage. that was the stuff I liked. The kung fu and stuff was good. It wasn't like the best kung fu I've seen in a kung fu movie. That would go to the likes of The Raid, Tony Jaa, those kind of movies. But
is that right?
But the film had some nice martial arts scenes, and definitely the characters I cared about were the Mandarin, or whatever his other name is. I know people are fond of calling him by his Asian name now.
You know his name.
Say his Asian name.
Say his
real name.
Is it Xin Yu?
It's Wen.
He literally mocked his own name he wants the Mandarin name in the movie.
I don't care. I know him as the Mandarin. I liked him.
But he mocked it. That's the thing. Disney took its opportunity to mock it.
Yeah, right.
He's
exactly.
Yeah.
Just score some Chinese work points. I don't know what it was.
I'm just gonna say one thing. I prefer the name Fu Manchu. Call me racist. I prefer Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu.
You are. We all know you're racist, Fenya. We don't need you to.
I prefer particularly
confirm it for us.
I prefer the Mandarin because that's what he's called in the comics. And if you're gonna not make him the Mandarin, don't have it in the movie. And certainly don't bring the dumpster fire troll Mandarin that you had in Iron Man 3 into the movie either.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an amalgam.
This is what I was going to say. This is what I was going to say about Shang-Chi. So I did care about the Mandarin. I was rooting for, at least in the beginning, Shang-Chi and Awkwafina. I was rooting for them in the beginning, although they lost me very soon into the movie. So at least there was at some point that I cared about one or other of the characters. In the Suicide Squad, I didn't care about anyone. I thought these were all horrible, mean-spirited, just, as I said, like nihilistic, just fucking horrible characters who had honestly, after what was his name? The Captain America, Captain John Cena, and Idris Elba, Blood Peace, or whatever the fucking guy's name is.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
Okay.
You know his name. You're doing this on purpose.
Seriously, you're doing this just to make fun of us.
What's the dumbass's name?
I don't remember their names. Half of those people's names.
After the two walked into a village of revolution, of like people.
What's Michael Rooker's character's name? Oh, that's right. It doesn't matter. He dies. Yeah. Who cares?
Ball thrower.
After they walk into a village, kill a bunch of innocent people who are trying to fucking overthrow like a dictatorship. Essentially,
again,
and then right after, the film doesn't even care about it. It just makes a joke.
We know the comedy is shit.
Expects me to still care about this Idris Elba character just because some rap girl reminds him of his daughter for no reason. I did not.
And again, he was pretty much
the best in the
movie. Any of these fucking characters.
Best scene in the movie.
Terrible.
Yeah, but you got to remember, he was a shitty father.
And that to me is the key to a movie. That to me is the key to making me want to watch the movie again. At least I can say with Shang-Chi, as much of a disjointed mess as it was of a movie, that I cared about the Mandarin character. I cared about Win Yu, if you want me to call him that.
Win Woo.
And I cared about his story with his wife. That was at least one person. And as a villain, he was okay. So I will put them on about level. Here's why Black Widow is hands down the best movie out of all three.
Man, let me just say this one thing. Let me say this. I'm going to do a K-Dots. The reason why Black Widow is the best overall is because the main character actually has an arc in that movie, and the other two movies the main characters don't have arcs.
Oh, Shang-Chi
has nothing. He does nothing in that movie. You don't care about anything he says.
None of us.
I'm gonna do what my father told me to do. I'm gonna kill him. No, I don't care. I wanted the movie to end halfway through. I was so bored out of my brain.
The best movie. Let's just focus on Suicide Squad.
Shang-Chi is so boring. But you know what? You know why it beats Suicide Squad? Do you want to know why it beats Suicide Squad? Because Suicide Squad actually is offensive. Like, it offended me. In the first 10 minutes, that was it. I couldn't get over that movie. It was offensive. It didn't make me angry. and I don't want to watch that movie again. They kill Nathan Fillion and Michael Rooker. They kill Captain Boomerang.
Nathan Fillion's not dead.
First thing, they mongrel as well, dead. Like
okay,
they kill
killing
all,
Captain Boomerang
right?
was
the
the
first
shittiest
10 minutes. It's like so dumb. It was the dumbest thing ever. It's like for shock though. It reminded me of. It literally reminded me of a Ryan Johnson twist for the sake of pissing off fans or whatever the hell it was for. Like that's what it reminded me of. Ryan Roundhead Johnson being being like subverting the expectations by killing off half of them in the first 10 minutes. I mean, I never think the whole argument against this is like, oh, did you think they were going to survive? They called the Suicide Squad. No, I didn't think every single character was going to survive. I didn't expect you to kill off major characters in the first 10 minutes of the film, though.
Exactly.
It made me angry, and I couldn't get over it. And the rest of the film, I didn't care.
You know what really pisses off? A lot of those characters were actually good to begin building up something. I mean, they had Mongol's sister there. They could have built up a Warworld movie, or something.
Yeah, not just even that, man. It was just like, it caused stakes. It was stakes. It was like, no, it wasn't in stakes. You killed off 3 major actors in 10 minutes. You killed off Nathan Fillion and Michael Rooker in the dumbest ways possible. Before they even had even a line, right? They put all the focus on Michael Rooker's characters because I don't remember his character's name because you know what, we weren't even meant to care about him. And then they kill them all off, right? And more than that, at DC Fandom, they talked about how like all these characters were going to have like all their fun they had on set, how they were going to do all this stuff. It was like I thought they were going to die in a lot more creative ways than Mongo grabbing onto the back of a freaking helicopter and exploding into nothing. And then killing, Captain Boomerang. Captain Boomerang. Hang on. This is the thing. This is the most offensive thing of all. Captain Boomerang is one of the rogues gallery for the Flash, right? We've seen them meet once. Of the gallery, actually. Flashback in some sort of flashback scene in in BVS or whatever the hell it was, right? Right. That's it. We haven't even seen him in the own Flash movie. We haven't even seen Captain Boomerang, and he's dead. Yeah. That's offensive. That is offensive to me. That's why this movie is trash. I hate it. And I'm never watching it again. Not ever.
Exactly. That is annoying. Because, you know what? I'm actually changing the score here. You've given me a lot of points. Suicide Squad goes number 2. Shang-Chi wins this. Okay. Because I would really love to see a movie where the Flash goes against the Rogues.
You're not going to get that. He's going to reset the universe in Flashpoint, where the reverse Flash isn't even the villain.
Pickle needs to speak, man. We've gone off on Suicide Squad.
He looks like he's going to die if he doesn't speak much. Okay, but bring him up.
You're up, man. You're up to bat. Like, I feel
motherfuckers.
what these guys are saying, though. I have to say,
Suicide Squad is dripping with the director's vision, with great score, with great action, with violence, with political themes, with character depth, with great choreography, with good witty writing. What the fuck are you guys talking about, dude?
Oh wait, where's the witty writing?
Captain Boomerang. No. Wait. My turn. Captain Boomerang dying. Who gives a fuck? In the comics, it's stupid that he can even fight Flash. He has boomerangs. Guess what? And if you do want him, they're about to open up a little thing called the multiverse. You don't think they're going to bring him back? And we always talk about, man, this movie was so generic. It was cookie cutter by the numbers. Yes, a director who finally gave us a movie where we don't know what's going to happen. He subverted our expectations, and it worked. Who gives a fuck about Captain Boomerang? The rest of the movie, Peacemaker, Bloodsport, Ratcatcher, King Shark.
Yeah,
they were phenomenal.
Peacemaker was much better than
Wait, subverted the expectations. Exploded the expectations. I knew Polka Dot Man was going to die as soon as he started saying, "I'm a hero." What are you talking about?
Paul, I'm sorry, I actually interrupted. It wasn't Paul's fault. I started it. Pickle, finish what you're saying.
You start the precedent every time.
Yeah.
I
did start that. I'll admit.
I'll
but the things you're saying are just annoying me. But go on.
Suicide Squad, Nerdman, you love political themes and undertones. It had it in the third act with Peacemaker and Rick Flag and hiding the U.S.'s involvement in this. The allegory of like arms and stuff that we have in other countries, but it's a starfish. They had Starro. It was unapologetically comic booky. The only thing you can say about that movie is maybe it was a bit immature, and I can understand if the comedy didn't hit. But the character work, the action, them bonding in the bar, King Shark, the visual directing of just showing how he feels being lonely, being a monster without any dialogue. Fucking Black Widow had no fucking character arc. She thought she killed the guy she hated, and then it just turns out she didn't, and she has to bust her head open so she can't smell him.
Dude? Oh my god, this guy right now.
Bloodsport's arc of being a bad parent and being afraid of rats, and then
it was the same shot. It was a repeat of the same story. What are you talking about? No, it wasn't. It was not better. There was a way better scene with Batman and Deadshot and his daughter when he arrests him. That's a way better scene than this stupid.
Widow's literally repeating the Avengers, the worst. They're the Russian Avengers.
What again? What's his name? That New Zealand director. What's his name?
Taika Waititi.
Oh.
Yeah. He appears magically in this movie again. Get rid of that. That guy is the most overrated. Get him out of the movies, man. Seriously.
Agreed.
No.
I see his face as a cameo.
No, when he says, if rats have a purpose, then so do we all, and she kills the monster with the rats.
He turned on the little light bulb to make the rats.
That was more character than anything in Black Widow.
What is wrong with you, man? Black Widow had like the family element. It had the redemption element. It had
the political.
Oh my god! It had the political. Yeah, because all the Black Widows throughout the entire planet, all their secret agents.
Wait, one at a time. Paul finished.
Oh my gosh! And that scene, mate. That scene at the end when he's just like. That dude, Pickle, that scene at the end where he's just like, what are you doing? She's like, you didn't get it there. And then she breaks her nose on the desk and punches that bastard in the face. That is one of the best scenes in the MCU, man. It's amazing. That scene was so good. I was like, hell yeah, kick his ass. It was so good, man.
All right.
You just lost this shit.
Benya, what you basically don't think Black Widow was that good, right?
Yeah, it wasn't. I'll admit with Pickle, that scene with Ratman was good.
I'm gonna get some hot wings.
I'll admit that scene with Ratman was good.
You muted.
It was emotional for me. It was emotional for me, a person that has daddy issues too, but I'll admit it.
I was unmuting you, man.
Waikiki
that was the dumbest thing Paul's ever said.
Waikiki is an absolute douche, and I agree with Paul on that part.
Oh my god!
But I also agree with Pickle on Ratman and the development of some of the characters.
Ratman.
Natasha had to go to a floating fortress in the sky, and then sever the nerve above her nose so she couldn't smell the main villain, so she could kill him. It was
That's not even how hormones work. That's not even how hormones work.
That is true. That's facts.
No. Listen. If you want to know how bad this movie is, watch Mahler's. Paul, I know you watch Mahler. Mahler's 4-hour video on Black Widow.
Come on. Dude, that was such a fire line. What are you talking about? When she's like severing the nerve and smashes her face on the freaking desk and then punches the shit out of him. Dude, that is one of the greatest things I've seen from her as a character.
I'll tell you.
Are you high or something? Wait, that is not.
Wait, Fenya. I'll tell you another reason why that's good, because it was a callback to Avengers 1 as well, where she's interrogating the people, but they don't know she's interrogating them.
Yes.
So that was actually really that was really good.
It was a callback to her interrogating them when she.
Fan.
Yes, exactly. It was a callback to that scene.
Unequivocally, no. I'm sorry. Watch Mahler's video.
That's why I'm saying when people say that Black Widow isn't a Black Widow movie and that it doesn't celebrate and give a good send off to the character, I think it's complete trash. Because
dude, it was a spy movie. It was like James Bond. It was like Mrs. Jason Bourne. That's what that movie was. It's a that's what it was.
Dude, don't make me laugh at you right now. That was not James. That was not at the same level as those.
Oh, wow.
Are you serious? James Bond is cheese, man. What are you talking about?
James Bond sucks.
Oh, my God. This guy
is... Okay, this guy right what here. The hell?
We're going
I'm sorry.
Here.
Are you speaking about Pickle? I'm sorry. I got to ask one thing. I need to ask Pickle one thing.
One thing.
Pickle,
yes, go on.
Are you talking about modern James Bond or old school James Bond?
Old school James Bond. I hate that shit.
Oh, my God. Sean Connery is... What are you doing, man? What are you talking about, Pickle?
Yeah, James Bond is...
James Bond what is wrong with you?
No, Pickle's right. James Bond is patchy. There's some
old school James Bond was awesome.
Dude, Sean Connery is amazing. What are you talking about?
He was one of the best. He was one of the best
James
James
Bond
Bonds.
Scottish, really? This is one topic
What's
I
wrong
wanted
with
to talk about.
Scottish, man? What are you talking about? It's part of
I'm sorry.
the
James
UK.
Bond is not fucking Scottish.
It's part of the UK. What are you talking about?
No,
you think that you can't?
He could be Scottish. He could be Welsh. He could be Irish.
You don't think that MI like? You don't think that they can recruit from from Scotland?
This is a different discussion. This is a different discussion.
What are you talking about?
But James Bond is not Scottish, and they said
I'm
it
not
best
a fan
in
of James
Train
Bond.
Spotting. They said it best in
You're a
Train
fool.
Spotting.
You're a fool, Pickle. You're a fool.
He said
GoldenEye is good, so blasted man. But sorry, like Casino Royale is a really good film, and so is
yeah, it's a good movie.
Dude, Skyfall is one of the greatest Bond films ever made.
Don't forget Goldfinger.
Pretty good movie.
Goldfinger is fantastic. The Spy Who Loved Me is another great one.
Spy You Loved Me is fantastic. Roger Moore is he's awesome to me. He's really underrated. That's amazing.
Bond.
That is true. That is true.
The sleazy, womanizer Bond. That's Bond, man.
Talk about why that scene's good.
I'll tell you one thing about Roger Moore. Roger Moore is the James Bond that I would least want to leave my woman around. Out of all, straight up back.
Yeah. Well, no, Sean Connery's up. Sean Connery's up there too, man. He's up there too.
He's up there.
That was electric.
James Bond makes me realize what haters of the MCU feel. Why
see what I'm saying? But no, you see what I'm saying when it's like Bourne meets James Bond? It's a spy thriller. That's what Black Widow is. That's why I can forgive it. It's like there's unrealistic things that happen. There's unrealistic things that's happened in Bond. There's unrealistic things that happen in Bourne. So I can forgive it because I'm like, that's what I'm watching. I'm watching that genre of film. It's like Winter Soldier. It's the same sort of deal. It's a spy thriller, right? When you go into Suicide Squad and they kill off the major cast members in the first 10 minutes and piss me off, I'm not going to enjoy your film. And Shang-Chi is just boring. It's just a boring film.
I like Taskmaster better than fucking Captain Boomerang, and they ruined him.
And Shang-Chi, guess what? And Shang-Chi borrowed from all the 90s Kung Fu movies, and they did it worse. The bamboo thing, Jackie Chan did it in Rush Hour. The Always Bet in Chinese just ripped off Always Bet on Black from Wesley Snipes. Like, it's all just ripped off other movies that did it better.
You just reminded me.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon did all of the mystical stuff better.
If I hear one more person say how this was Shang-Chi did like a Jackie Chan style fight, I'm going to fucking shoot myself in the head. This is fucking bullshit, my friend.
I didn't say that. I said it borrowed from the bamboo
I'm not saying you said that. I've heard it numerous times this week about how Shang-Chi is it's borrowed from Jackie Chan and that scene on the bus. Fuck you, it's like Jackie Chan. No. First of all, Jackie Chan would have done all of the shit for real. That's the first thing, right?
Without
Jackie Chan would have, without ropes,
he would have done all of
that shit
by
for
himself.
Real. Yeah.
He would have broken his ankle like he did in Big Trouble in Little China, whatever it is. Yeah.
With no freaking...
And then secondly, more importantly than that, Jackie Chan's charisma during those fights is so way beyond fucking Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
It isn't even
I'll admit. Liu has no charisma whatsoever compared to all
he's so boring. Let me just say, he is so boring to watch on screen. He is so boring.
Yeah, Simu Liu had very little charisma. Like he
should have been called the Mandarin in The Legend of the Ten Rings, and they should have just talked about him the whole time.
Well, he was like,
I don't care about his stuff.
Comparing that to Black Widow and her sister as the lead.
Yeah, no, they had way more charisma together, and so did their father did.
And chemistry.
Chemistry was all there.
Shang-Chi's better than Black Widow.
No, it's not. Get out of here, Pickle. That is crap. That's absolute crap. Wenwu is 10% of the movie, if that. 10%.
About 35%.
Let's hear what Pickle has to say.
That's like a garbage round table dinner. Hey, dude. Okay, compare two scenes. The dinner table scene in Black Widow versus the dinner table scene in Shang-Chi. Which had more emotion? Which had more family moments?
That was the only great scene in Black Widow.
Okay. But no, it wasn't. But Pickle...
Which they still turned into jokey. You need to, your posture needs to sit up. Oh, is that the pig? You named the pig after me? It was like a fucking comedy skit.
Do you guys, because this is just going to go back and forth
Yes.
of like, I like this one, I like this one, and I think this is better.
Let me explain why Shang-Chi's better.
We need to like let's talk story,
Shang-Chi.
character, action. Maybe if we separate it into things, then maybe we could talk about it more sensibly. All right. So
yes.
Go first, Pickle, before we go into the particular categories like action, cinematography, music, etc. You can give a more general outlook, like kind of responding to some of what Paul and I have said about why you think Black Widow's the worst one out of
I will say that, like, coming from James Gunn, you would think that his writing would be super cringe. I enjoyed most of it. I could forgive the bad comedy, but I will say that, like, Shang-Chi had cringier like jokes than fucking Suicide Squad, and that's crazy coming from it's James Gunn. But dude, Black Widow, Black Widow was a good movie. It was kind of fun. It wasn't even really fun. Who's the second girl? The blonde one. What's her name? Bellanova. What's her name?
I don't know.
Natasha's sister. What's her fucking name?
Natasha's sister. I don't know. Yelena.
Dude, she was overrated as fuck. She didn't make me laugh, but one time when she was like, "Oh, this will be a really cool way to die," I was like cringing, and she was like, "This is a cool way to die. You'll pose like this. You're a poser. Look at the pockets in my sweater, dude." She was a generic MCU comedy. Yeah, hold it. She was a generic MCU comedy person. She was okay. I didn't feel the bond between her and Natasha. She has been,
bro. This guy
mind controlled by the main
guy has no idea.
She had been mind controlled. Dude, she didn't have a life.
Do you not even know what the pocket jacket thing is?
Save
my God.
Save it.
The jacket, man. What are you doing right now? You have no idea. He calls himself an MCU fan. Even Nerdman gets this.
I liked it. That was one of the only times that I chuckled when she was like, "It's got so many pockets." And I was like, "Hey, yay!" They fucking explain why she has the fucking jacket. Cool. Okay.
Oh, come on. Get out of it. What are you talking about?
I'm not getting it. So she has been mind controlled her whole life. And she even says, "This is the first time I've ever bought anything for myself." She's been mind controlled for like 20 years, and she gets out of it and immediately has a personality of a jokester. That would not happen.
That really doesn't make sense. If she was mind controlled, she would kind of be... She would be
cold.
Would
have no personality.
She would literally be a person by herself, not this open.
Wait. No, wait. I am going to respond to this.
She hasn't made a decision for herself in 20 years.
No, the technology they use for mind control came much later, dude. The technology that she's freed from, that was the science that her mother was working on a lot later. So before they just controlled them just by being children together.
Just did it through Black Widow's training, the same training she went through, and then they added this chemical to it later on.
The chemical subjugation.
Dude, they knew each other. They knew each other before Natasha got out. And they even talk about this in the movie.
Wait, what are we talking about here? Can you honestly look at me and tell me that the scene that you talked about of her, doing the copying Black Widow wasn't funnier than pretty much every joke in Suicide Squad and Shang-Chi?
No.
Yep.
When John Cena said, when he said nobody likes to show off, and John Cena was like, "That's what they're showing off's dope as fuck," and he was like, "Fuck, that's right." I laughed way more at that scene. I laughed more.
Is Red Guardian? It's Red Guardian, isn't it? That's his name. Red Guardian.
Red Guardian was my favorite character in the movie.
And
he was wasted. Wasted.
No.
I mean, he was mistreated a lot.
He wasn't a quip machine.
They
didn't do quips. Hang on. They didn't do quips. He was a comedic character. He was a comedic character. It wasn't about quips.
Have you ever read one of his books?
He also had heart. He also had heart when he goes in to go after Florence Pugh's character in the room, and he starts singing the song that was her favorite when she was a kid. That was heart. That was a heart moment, man.
But it's a moment.
There's more, dude. There's more heart in that moment than there is in the entire of the Suicide Squad.
That's not even as good of a moment when fucking.
There's more heart in that moment than the entire Shang-Chi. I can't act my way out of a cardboard box. My name is Shang-Chi. That's what happened in Shang-Chi.
I'll tell you what.
God damn it, Nerdman. Can I finish?
Yes. Okay. Yes, that is true.
Give me like a minute and a half here.
No, you're sacrilegious. Dude, stop it.
No, dude. You know what? I'm gonna actually put a minute and a half because this is going too far. We do keep interrupting each other, and we need to have like some clear moments. So I'm gonna give each
1 minute and 30
and
seconds for each.
A minute and a half
to talk. All right. So
I'm just focusing on why Black Widow's not as good as the Suicide Squad.
So that everyone can fucking see it. Because I'm getting annoyed with this. Not you guys. I'm just saying I'm getting annoyed.
I'm getting really annoyed with Paul.
That's Paul's style,
chip-eating
man.
son of a bitch.
You and me too, brother. You and me too.
Hey, you're speaking crap. Saying the Suicide Squad's better? God.
Dude.
All right, let me find the fucking stop clock.
What's wrong with you?
I'll find the stop clock.
Paul, you're going on a path I cannot follow. Yes. Bosco scenario, yes.
I will never watch that movie ever again. That movie is so offensive to me in every way. Yep.
I've seen it 3 times. Okay.
Guys, I'm gonna have a stop clock here so that we can each make our points. So first of all, you're gonna talk why Black Widow isn't a good movie, right? Like, or why?
No, I think it's a good movie.
Or why you think it's the third best. So let's keep to that, okay? For the minute and a half, so we can respond to that shit. Where's my fucking share? Here we go. Share screen. Mute.
Hey, you want to know something, Pickle?
If you can't not let him speak, just mute.
2016 Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
I'd watch that again over this movie.
Oh, dude, you gotta.
Thank you.
Eat a hobo's bitch.
I'm not even joking when I say that. I'm smiling when I say that because I know it pisses you off, but I'm serious. That movie at least has some heart in it. This movie, the Suicide Squad's garbage.
All right, we'll talk about that later because I agree with that wholeheartedly. Pickle, I'm gonna start now. Got 1 minute and a half.
I'm wasting 2 seconds burping. I did not feel the chemistry between the family when they got together. The dinner table was the only scene where I thought it was pretty good. But every scene they threw in the jokes of like, sit up straight, your posture's not good. What happened? They took your vagina out? Yes, they cut me open and took my vagina out. Black Widow and Yelena kill the entire prison. They destroy it under an avalanche to get their dad out. Innocent guards that did nothing to them, and she doesn't blink an eye, but we're supposed to root for her.
Exactly.
The whole thing about Taskmaster was, dude, this is going by quick, was fucking ruined. Taskmaster was an absolute piece of garbage villain. When it turned out the reveal that it was Natasha scarred this girl, it doesn't matter because he would have turned her into a Black Widow anyway. It wasn't even her fault. And then her character ending is her wailing on the ground going, is he out of my head? Then Black Widow gets to leave. There's no real goodbye between her, the Red Guardian, and her mom. The character decisions didn't make any sense. Black Widow is invincible. It tries to be dark, but they still throw in too many fucking jokes. Just as many cringy jokes from Shang-Chi as in this movie. Red Guardian, they fucking ruined every single scene that I'm supposed to care about. I didn't because there are jokes in this movie. And the action was subpar. It was good. It wasn't even close to The Winter Soldier. This movie is just okay. It's good. It's a good movie. But after my time is over and it comes back to me, I'll explain why Suicide Squad is even better. God damn it. 1 minute and a half went by really quickly.
That was amazing, dude. That was amazing. Well done. That was hard. I can imagine.
Fuck Trashmaster.
Just 1 second to make it 31.
All right. Who's going to respond to that?
Let's up it to 2 minutes. That was really hard.
Yeah, I'll go Fenya. Fenya, I'm going to give you again, we're discussing why you think Black Widow, I guess, is the third best. I'm thinking you're saying. So we'll go now. Yeah? You ready, Fenya?
Hey, Nerdmaster, up it to 2 minutes. Okay, that was so quick.
Yeah, I'll give you 2 minutes, all right?
Okay, the strategic thinking in this movie was incredibly pathetic. A lot of the scenes made no sense if you're trying to give it an idea of the real world, specifically like how Taskmaster moves around. Makes no sense whatsoever. Even when he attacks Natasha for the first time, I mean, is he trying to destroy the objective or trying to recover it? I didn't really get much sense of that. And how they're trying to make every character seem like a hero, but at the same time, they look like monsters. I mean, exactly like how Pickle said, they literally destroyed an entire mountain, killing numerous guards. Innocent men with probably families and loved ones would probably come back for revenge in the future. it just doesn't make much of sense. I'm a big fan of the Red Guard. I love he's one of my own few favorite Soviet heroes. And how he was treated like this guy's supposed to be the Russian equivalent of Captain America, and he's treated like shit. This didn't happen a lot in the comics. It was actually respectful. And Taskmaster alone, he was one of my favorite characters. This guy is supposed to be one of Marvel's most dangerous villains, not because of power, but because he can literally copy anyone's moves and study them to a point where he can even figure out their secret identities. This guy is no joke. He's really like a freaking joke in this movie. And the reveal that he's a woman was seen a million miles away because, let's be honest, we all know they were going to do that. It was an annoying piece of shit, and I hate it. Even the way the sister was supposed to die but didn't die, the way she stopped and said, this was fun, like it was some kind of fucking joke, was a hell of annoyance. Fucking fuck's sake. I am just, God. But seriously, what pissed me off above all in this crazy movie was pretty much the post-credit scene where they're trying to build up this thing that she's going to go after Hawkeye for revenge. Because I just don't, a part of me just doesn't give a shit anymore. I'm too tired of this stupidity. Now I don't want to see them destroy Hawkeye like they did with the rest. I'm tired. There.
Great one. This is hard. Like 2 minutes is like a little bit like too hard. But it's the only way I can see of us being able to get our opinions out, and we can't be like 5
Yeah,
minutes
this is
each.
pretty hard.
Yeah, it is pretty hard, but well done, dude.
Trying to analyze all the information, just drop it.
Yeah, I'm gonna struggle with this. I must admit. All right, so Paul,
what am I arguing,
that, bro? So I guess why? Look, we both. I think it should be. Let's do Black Widow versus Suicide Squad at first, and then you'll get another 2 minutes of Black Widow versus Shang-Chi. I think it will be easier than to try and do all three at the once, right? So, you're up to Batman. So I think it's So Black Widow versus Suicide Squad.
Cool. Black Widow, the MCU does whatever it wants, so this whole Taskmaster argument's mute, because they've done whatever they wanted since the beginning. They didn't do the Mandarin properly, they didn't do any of these other things properly, so they do whatever they want. It's their own alternate universe, they can do whatever they want. This man above me defends WandaVision, so let me just get that in perspective when we talk about no character growth and emotional weight, etc., given that last episode of WandaVision. We can talk about that trash. When we talk about the Suicide Squad, they killed off half of them in the first 10 minutes. It wasn't to subvert expectations. It was just cheap and stupid, and it made me angry at the film. It made me angry, and it made a lot of other people angry at the film. It did have a stupid thing. The end of that movie is so dumb. She calls on all these rats. They're on an island. Where do the rats come from? And why don't you just do it immediately? The whole javelin thing into the eye. I needed to cut it open so the eyes, the rats could swim inside. Didn't need that. They could have just got inside through those little armpit things that shot out the little starfish people. It was crap. It was garbage. The ending of that movie is is exactly the same as Suicide 2016. It is a giant sky beam. Instead, it's a giant starfish, and they all gang together to beat it and die. It's stupid. Black Widow actually had emotional weight. It had emotional things in it. It had the family element. They had the family come together at the end to beat the main bad guy. They had Natasha at the top of it, fighting her exact nemesis. They explained the red in the ledger that's a throwback to the Avengers. They also threw back to the Avengers when they talked about her interrogating him. The severing the nerve was a fire line when she beat up them. Then she had all the brainwashed Black Widows come in and try to attack her at the end, and then they all got freed by her sister, who now goes off to lead them to save the rest of these other people, other Black Widows that are in the world right now. They expanded the universe where people didn't think they would expand it, even myself included, didn't think it was going to be expanded, and they expanded the Marvel universe with a movie that's actually a prequel that's based after Civil War. So,
man, that sounds like shit.
Well done. Well done. This is super fucking hard. All right, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna try and bring some, put all of these thoughts together, because there was a lot of things going on.
I mean, we can have multiple 2-minute segments.
I mean, probably if you want to bring justice into this, probably do 7 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, we will. I think it's, but just to give us an opening salvo. All right. So I'm gonna go Black Widow, Suicide Squad. All right. So first of all, I think all of these, I don't hate these as much as Paul. I think all of them are decent movies for one reason or another. I just think that for me, Black Widow, all in all, as a whole movie, entire movie, cinematography, score, acting, the heart of the movie, the emotion, and the family aspects of the movie are all done superior. And anything you can kind of criticize in terms of MCU humor in Black Widow is done much worse in Suicide Squad and in fucking Shang-Chi. The Suicide Squad has the same kind of MCU-ish humor or Deadpool-ish humor that really doesn't have heart and is just there to make you laugh. If you want to contrast that with, for instance, the humor in Black Widow, which does have heart, where you see, the Red Guardian trying to be a father, but he doesn't know how to be a father to his daughter Yelena. And then right at the end, it does that callback to the beginning of the movie where he sings that song that he knows he loves, because that's the last refuge he has to be able to connect with his daughter. Same stuff with the stuff around the dinner table. Yes, it had like MCU humor, but it was focused towards something and it built character. The score was really good in Black Widow as well. I think the cinematography was some of the best we've actually seen in the MCU. It didn't look like a TV movie. Acting actually gave the cast something to do and perform with. Had a pretty decent villain as well in the end with the guy who was owning the Red Rooms or whatever, or the guy who basically was the Red Room overseer or whatever. I find Suicide Squad entirely mean-spirited. I don't find it very funny. I think it's got frat boy humor all over it. And yeah, that's I've got a lot more to say about the Suicide Squad. But that was my opening. So
a lot of bullshit.
Oh, okay. Well, I did quite well. All right. Does anyone?
This is pretty much it's pretty much a civil war here.
Does anyone have anything specific they want to respond to?
Yes, you couldn't even remember the villain's name of the movie.
Oh, forget that, man. I can't remember the villains' names of any of these movies. All right.
You can't remember Starro.
Starro, okay, yeah,
that's
I remember
right.
Starro, but
like, you can remember the Mandarin.
I can't remember. I can't remember the dictator's name or whatever in.
Who cares?
Yeah, in
who gives a damn?
He's not the villain.
I don't think Starro is.
He burns a bunch of birds in their cage. Who cares?
Yeah. Do you understand how much force?
I'm an edgelord. I burned all the birds in a cage. I'm edgy.
Yeah, none of these movies are flawless. I mean, all of these movies have a bunch of flaws. I enjoyed all of them. I just think Suicide Squad is the best. Do you understand how much force? I looked it up. That you have to fucking hit your head on a table to sever that nerve more than just going. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life in the MCU. That. I can't smell you, or else I can't kill you.
There's supposed to be realism in these fucking movies.
Again,
it's not realism. It's
Black Widow was
realism. Yes, realism, but that's not how hormones work.
Yeah,
hey,
but again, the concept. Do you think? All right, in Batman Begins, do you think that's how fucking batarangs work? Do you think that's how fucking hooks work? That's not.
Well, depending on the level of technology.
Comic book fucking bullshit.
But it's not.
That's exactly right. You have to accept a certain amount of comic book crap in these movies, man. Suicide Squad has its own.
That makes sense.
They literally have. It's so stupid. Okay. Suicide Squad, right off the bat, they're supposed to be inserting themselves in to get this file. They're supposed to be a Spec Ops team that's supposed to go undetected. They have a goddamn shark in their team. A shark that's huge as their Spec Ops. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in a movie. It's so stupid.
Hyperbole much.
And you know what it's there for? No, you know what it's there for?
No.
Oh, edgy. Because it's funny. Oh, he's there as the comic relief. The dumb ass shark. That's what he's there for. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in a movie. They're a fucking insurgent team.
But Paul,
Amanda Waller is a dumb fuck for putting him in that team. She's dumb as shit.
For Christ's sake,
Paul, to be fair, that's comic book bullshit as well, and I can accept.
I go. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what my point is. They want to accept. He wants to say it's the best movie, and they have to accept that there's comic book bullshit in their movie as well.
Because this is what you guys love. This is an 80s action movie with today's CGI, with the characters, with the writing, with the violence, with the one-liners. Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of one-liners with Peacemaker and Bloodsport. This is what that is. So I can accept more dumb shit. Like in Guardians, I can accept more dumb shit than I can in Black Widow. Black Widow was trying to load up on guns, bring your friends. You're talking about disrespectful. They fucking took one of the greatest rock songs of all time and did a cover of it.
Oh, come on. Now you're just like, what are you
No.
You're grasping at straws. You're so grasping. You're grasping.
No, let me explain it.
You're grasping. Oh, God. I need to grasp at the song. I need to grasp at the song now.
They took one of the greatest.
You went from comic book bullshit to that.
Captain Boomerang's an important character. You cared so much about Boomerang. You cared that much that he died.
No, you know what I cared about? I cared about that they hype beast all these characters and they killed them in like 5 minutes. They killed
shit.
Dude, they did. At fandom, they did, man. At DC fandom, they all hyped their own characters up.
They hyped up Taskmaster, and he was a piece of shit.
Oh my God.
That was
he wasn't
a garbage villain.
No, she wasn't. She was great. That was a great cliffhanger to that end, man. That was a great surprise. I liked it. I really liked it.
No,
I liked it.
All of your credibility.
I thought it added way more. No, it added way more emotional weight to her story. And that was the rated ending.
I don't care. I don't listen. I don't.
I liked it, and then she severed her. She severed her tie at the end, and it made a lot more emotional weight. And at the end, when she says, "You were right about me, sister," like when she says that to her, man, that was freaking emotional stuff there, man. You didn't get any of that stuff in the Suicide Squad. None of that. There was no emotional weight in that movie at all. It was an edgelord's wet dream. That's all that movie was. It's a piece of shit. It's fucking not funny. It's a fucking boring, fucked movie. That's what that Suicide Squad is.
Word, Bloodsport, and
all right, cool.
I hate that movie with a passion. I'm going to go watch this. I'm going to watch the Suicide Squad from 2016 right now. It's a better movie.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Look,
I'd rather have Enchantress doing this in front of a sky beam than watching Starro go under his armpits, firing out little starfish from its armpits.
Can I finish my point about the song, there, man?
Was float in space.
Sorry, Paul.
Wait, you're talking about real?
No, you made me laugh.
No, he just walked into a trap, man.
It made me laugh. It wasn't. Look, I don't agree with it. Starro was better than John.
God, never mind. I have to respond.
But okay, this Paul, no laughing. Come on, man. Be respectful. Let's have Pickle and Fenya answer to this.
You just destroyed your own argument. You're the villain in Black Widow. Just doesn't like women and wants to kidnap them and like make them brainwash them and make them take over governments. Which, if he has the technology,
he sees them as tools.
If he has the technology, to brainwash them, why can't he just brainwash the fucking politicians themselves? It's fucking stupid.
Exactly.
Starro actually has a character. He was a prisoner of American fucking experimentation. He had depth when he says that last line. I was just okay, and you guys fucked with me. You fucked with nature, and this is what happens. You have to send in the Suicide Squad. Character depth, bro. Character depth.
What happened to dude?
Wait.
Hey, can I just ask? Hey, people, can I ask a question? Why didn't Superman fly in? Why didn't Superman or Wonder Woman or Batman turn up when there's a giant starfish alien attacking this island, and it was televised on the news? Can you tell me that? Oh, because Warner Brothers is shit. They don't know how to write movies. They don't know how to write characters.
That is true. Warner Brothers is shit.
No, wait. Where are the Avengers during this? You tell me Black Widow didn't have any of the numbers?
That is also true.
It was after Civil War, man. She was on the run. So you're wrong.
I mean, there was dude. That's not true. There was still Iron Man's team.
She was on the run. She was on the run, and they were all stuck in the thing. And she's the one that went and broke them out. That's what the end of the movie showed. She's like,
Iron Man that's still had his team. And you want to know a fun fact?
At the end of Civil War.
You want to know a fun fact? Iron Man was actually supposed to show up in this movie. But he was cut off.
Iron Man is a puppet of the government at the end of Civil War. She goes and breaks out Captain America and the rest of them. That's what she gets the Quinjet for at the end of the movie.
I'm sorry. You guys in the comments are just fucking completely wrong.
Exactly. If he's a puppet of the government, then he would be hunting her down.
They just recognize good storylines compared to edgelord tryhard wannabe Starros, man.
Dude, they had a cover. Let me do the song. They had a cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Respond, and then I'm gonna fucking respond because
they had a cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" where it slowed down like Zack Snyder in slow motion, showing fucking children getting trafficked.
Dude, then I almost cried in that scene, man. What are you talking about?
Paul,
you almost cried?
Paul,
you almost cried? Jesus.
Paul, stop.
They had
Pickle.
Load up on.
That's one of the greatest opening segments in like MCU, man. It's one of the greatest.
Paul won't let us.
Oh, what is wrong with you?
They had a Zack Snyder-esque edgelord slow cover of one of the greatest rock songs of all time happening while children are being trafficked. Then 30 minutes later, you have Yelena popping off jokes, or Yelena and fucking the Red Guardian like breaking people's arms. I fought Captain America. He was a wasted character. This movie was edgy.
You're jumping around, man. What are you talking about?
Yes, I'm talking about how the movie was trying to be edgy, but then
it wasn't trying to be edgy. It wasn't trying to be edgy.
Snyder movie.
No, man. Dude, he literally sold his kids into like slavery.
Why?
He literally sold his kids into slavery because he's Russian. Because that's what the Soviets did, man. Because he didn't care about them. They were adopted.
Why did he do anything that he did?
Wait.
Because they were adopted. They weren't biologically his kids.
Paul, let me respond to this. Okay, first of all, it was an allegory for basically sex slavery, essentially, which is something that goes on in the world. So I'm not against that, like, at all. It wasn't like some SJW, like whatever. They were actually commenting on something that actually happens in that part of the world specifically as well, by the way. And I think it was, fair for them, grounds for them to cover and do a film about it. So I haven't got a problem with that. Now, did he have a specific reason of his own for doing that? No, but if it happens in the real world, I think it's fair game to be able to cover. That being said, I want to hyper focus on Suicide Squad now, and versus the Suicide Squad 2016, since it's come up in the chat a lot. Now, I personally do not think that Suicide Squad was a better movie from 2016. Simply because it doesn't have a story, really. But what I will say is I like the characters way more in Suicide Squad 2016. I think everything in terms of the development of how Will Smith and his daughter, how that plays into what he's doing in the movie makes him much more likable. Every single part of that movie, he is referencing back to his daughter in a way that it's artificially done in the Suicide Squad.
Hey, no, man, can I ask you a question? I want to ask you a question quickly. I just want to ask you a question quickly on the storyline. What does this sound like to you? A team is inserted into a city, and then they go fight a being at the end of like a long row of like fighting other creatures or other people, right? Soldiers even. And then they get to the end and they fight the major being. What does that sound like? What storyline is that to you?
It does sound like Suicide Squad 2.
It's exactly the same goddamn movie. Thank you.
An Avenger goes on the run. An Avenger goes on the run. The government is after her. Everything is not as it seems. A faceless robotic killing machine is sent after her to kill her. Winter Soldier ripoff. Shut that. Like, stop
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? It's not a Winter Soldier ripoff.
You want to know something?
That is true. That is true.
Winter Soldier did it all way better.
They both did it good in their own way. I think Black Widow was a little bit darker, a little bit more.
Black Widow was darker.
All right, please finish, nerd.
But anyway, so what I was saying about Will Smith versus the character in the Suicide Squad, Bloodsport or whatever. He doesn't really have an arc. Let's be real. He doesn't have an arc. But what they do is they establish in the beginning that he has some problems with his daughter. No, they establish he has some problem with his daughter. He doesn't mention his daughter again until the middle of the movie, where for some bizarre reason he chooses this girl and says, "You remind me of my daughter." I don't know why you remind him of her. Maybe just because you're both females and young. I presume that's it. But you remind me of my daughter, so I'm going to protect you for the rest of the movie. Even though by now he's been proven to be such a fucking asshole that I don't care about him anymore because he's killed people, innocent people, and doesn't even seem to care about it anyway. So he goes on, he's in the bus, he mentions the daughter one more time. The next time we hear about his daughter is right at the end of the fucking movie, where she appears and then she's like,
that's my dad. That's my dad. I'm so proud of him.
I'm so proud of him. That is not how you establish a fucking arc, an emotional arc where you care about the character and you care about his relationship with his daughter. Say what you want to say about Suicide Squad 2016. The whole way through that movie, Will Smith cares about his daughter. He cares about her going to university, getting like white boy that shit. He cares about the letters, like in the bar where he gets the letters and he's like, he has an actually really emotional scene. Also, he's just, they do a lot of the flashbacks. Also, he's just a much more charismatic lead. I'm sorry, Idris Elba is a wonderful character actor, but he does not have it as an action star like Will Smith. Will Smith has the fucking charisma to spare. So again, much, much more likable lead character. Harley Quinn. I think Harley Quinn actually has a better arc in the fucking Suicide Squad 1. She's actually there for a reason. I'm sorry. It explains her backstory with the Joker. You then go on to see how she falls. She basically thinks that the Joker's dead, and then she goes to basically she has this thing where she starts to care about the Suicide Squad, the rest of the team, or Task Force X, and then she goes on to essentially fight with them. As weak as an arc that is, her arc or her reason for being in the Suicide Squad 2021 is so ridiculous. It's like she wants to figure out what she should do with a fucking javelin. That's it. That's her whole fucking character in a thing. There is no reason for her to be in this fucking movie. None. Anything that you care about her in this movie is only because you've seen her in previous films.
I agree. She was the worst part of the film.
Okay.
Why is King Shark in this movie?
Then the only other good character in this whole fucking movie was Polka Dot Man. And again, even that a bit artificial. Out of nowhere.
And you know what else? They kept continuing the stupid mum joke. The stupid mum joke all the way through. I was like, it's not funny, guys. It's not actually funny. I haven't laughed once at this stupid dumbass joke.
If you had a mother like this,
take away Enchantress, take away Enchantress, take away you take away Enchantress and you take away Killer Croc, who has like one line in the movie, by the way, like 2 lines. Right, you take away those 2 characters, and all the characters in the first Suicide Squad were better.
They actually have
Katana, Slipknot.
Katana has 1 line
Rick
as well.
Flag.
So I don't get Rick Flag. Okay, Rick Flag they improved upon. I'll give you that. But he's not even an interesting.
Yeah, then they killed him. Then they killed him.
And
but
you care.
Oh, edgy.
No, he gets stabbed for doing the right thing.
So good, man. I'm such an edgelord. Oh, we're going to kill him by having John Cena survive this movie. The worst actor in the whole movie survives.
I will take Will Smith,
better than Yelena.
Captain Boomerang.
Way better.
I'll take Will Smith, Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, and Amanda Waller in the first Suicide Squad over all of
then she gets knocked out and she lets those guys survive as well. Yeah. She kills a whole bunch of people. She kills a whole bunch of people in the first Suicide Squad, right? It's because they know that the Enchantress exists and all the rest of it. And then they knock her out with a flipping golf club and she wakes up and her punishment is to go look after freaking Helmet Head. I don't give a crap. Like, she is such a weak, stupid character. She is a dumbass in this movie. They're like, we gotta lay low. The other thing, they're dumbasses themselves. We gotta lay low. The government's after us. They go into a pub and have a party and dance. What the? This movie is so stupid.
They're going there to find
so dumb. It doesn't matter. They could have waited outside and waited for him to turn up, dude. They went into a pub when they're being hunted by the government of the island, and they go into a pub and dance. It's so stupid. The characters are so dumb. And then they kill that whole village of good people, right? And it's all jokey. It's a dumb... Dude, it's the dumbest freaking movie. It's one of the dumbest movies I've seen. It's so poorly written.
Fun 80s movie.
It's not.
Right, let me ask.
Do not insult movies like The Predator with this goddamn bullshit.
This movie's better than The Predator.
Oh, God. Evacuate him right now. Put him in the Phantom Zone. That is bullshit.
I accept it.
Dude.
Put me in the Phantom Zone right now.
No.
What did you just say?
You've gone too far.
He just said that the Suicide Squad is better than The Predator. Dude,
don't say those words. That is blasphemy.
I'm sorry, The Predator.
That is blasphemy.
Back so fondly. It's a good movie. It's not incredible. It's good. It's really good.
Dude, it's incredible.
Oh yeah, I forgot they went to a. Yeah, that's right. They did.
What are you gonna say
next?
They went to
a pub in 2016 as well.
You're gonna say Aliens suck next?
He hasn't seen it.
They
hasn't seen it.
They went to specifically a bar in that movie. They went to a club in this movie.
Yeah, they went to the pub. They went to the same thing. They had a drink. They had some drink. Yeah, they had a drink for the final battle.
The one in
yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. Was better.
Yes, it was.
Nope.
That whole scene with
El Diablo.
El Diablo, man. And he has the dancing wife like on his hand and stuff. And he talks about his life. That was amazing. That was so good, that scene. And also, I loved Harley when that a lot of those characters got to breathe in that scene, which is something that this movie never got.
They don't have any
that's how they get to know each other in that scene, my dude.
Well, they don't.
They have nothing. Dude, they do. And in this scene, it's like, you know what the getting to know you scene is? When they're watching it on a projector, and he's like, Hunt.
Nerd, let me go now.
No, all right.
Is that a nickname for anus? Is that a nickname for anus? The jokes in this movie are so shit. So bad.
That wasn't a good joke.
Paul,
in the bar scene in this,
and then he comes in his tidy whities. He's in his tidy whities later on. This movie is crap, man. It's so bad.
Oh, we get it. I agree with you. Paul, I'll say this: the most bonding part of the pub scene in this 2021 one was basically
they get polka dot man drunk.
No. Peacemaker basically goes, "Oh, get a drink for the rat." That was it.
Yeah, and he nods at her and she like punches him. Like little character moments like that. But anyway, little human things that people do.
Pickle. I'm gonna try and
dance together.
I'm gonna try and focus on an answer so that you can give an answer to our general criticism, which is that I've been trying. Yeah, I know you have. I'm sorry, man. The emotional arcs of the characters in the Suicide Squad 2016 is better than the 2021. So that's what so you can focus your answer. Go on.
No, because that movie I didn't care about any of the characters, and the writing was so it was David Ayer fucking edgelord. I fucking killed my wife. I burned her up. I'll never raise my fist again. Like it was so cheesy, generic Mexican cholo gangster. The only thing in that movie that I loved was Will Smith. I told you behind closed doors and maybe on stream when he was like telling him, "You kept these fucking letters for me." And he was like, "Let's fucking do this. I don't care if I have to drag your ass. They're gonna write stories about what we're about to do." That was amazing. But the whole scene as a whole, they sit down. He's like, "Let's get some drinks." He's like, "Just one drink." He's like, "Oh, you're going to be that guy?" "Yeah, I'm going to be that guy." They're like, "Oh, fuck it. Let's get some more drinks." Get a drink for the rat. They hit each other. They get Polka Dot Man drunk. They start dancing together. You see Rick Flag and Bloodsport together. Then the Thinker comes in. The way that it is combined as a scene together, I think worked better. And I had already cared more about these characters when it happened than those characters.
Why did you care about them? That's what I don't get.
Before, the lines that they were given.
What
they were endearing.
What was endearing about Bloodsport and fucking the Peacemaker? I don't get it.
His daughter, their lines when he's screaming at his daughter. Then when he's screaming at Viola Davis, and it shows that he really cares. When he's like a piece of shit father, but he actually cares.
Better than
his
Will
father
Smith.
And daughter when they're meeting each other for 5 minutes. That's what they do.
Wait, and they are better than Will Smith.
No, Will Smith is probably the best character in any of these movies.
Okay, good. I just
probably
wanted to hear that.
Yes, you got your little treat. When King Shark is like, "I had no friends," and they make friends with him. Like there is character to when he's seeing the people kiss in the bus. When he's like, "You remind me of my daughter," because who cares why she reminds him of him? That just happens. You see somebody, they remind you of somebody. It's because she's a young woman and he misses his daughter, and they bond. She gives her story about her. She doesn't have a dad. They're basically meant to go on this journey together.
He killed himself.
This movie, the character arcs are amazing in this movie. Also the transitions when they have the cool like writing and then it turns into like a building. The music, that scene in the rain where they're killing people and they're walking together, like that is an Avengers-esque type fucking team up walk scene. This movie is great. Black Widow is really good, but this movie has everything that 2016 one didn't have except for Will Smith. Black Widow, I didn't care about their fake family because, listen, I didn't understand why they gave the kids away to the slavery. I don't understand why he's in prison, but he could just break out any moment. I didn't understand what was going on with the hard drive that they never mentioned again. I didn't understand why, like, their goodbye at the end. I didn't like Yelena popping off jokes when they're about to die. I didn't like that Black Widow was not a side character, but she wasn't as forefront as she should have been. I didn't like the fucking James Bond villain who you couldn't smell. I didn't like Taskmaster. The movie didn't work. The action was okay. The music was okay. It looked pretty. But Black Widow is not this amazing fucking Zack Snyder genius level movie. The Suicide Squad was hands down the most fun fucking movie of the year, period.
It was enjoyable.
Plus the violence was awesome. We love violent movies.
I actually have to say this is one of my criticisms, and this is why I think it's so mean-spirited. I think the action in Suicide Squad was mainly like the glorification of violence, like making blood and ugly deaths seem cool. And I really don't like that when films do that. If you're going to be ultra violent in a movie, I prefer the violence in, like, say, The Joker or say certain other movies. Certain other movies where they show the repercussions of violence. If you're going to do like a movie which is like a kids movie, you can make the violence look cool. But once you're doing things like you're killing innocent people and blooding them up and doing all of that kind of stuff, I think then you have to be a little bit more, I don't know, thoughtful about the violence. Or if you're not going to be thoughtful, I'm probably just not going to like it. It's just probably not going to be my cup of tea. You know, I don't like that about James Gunn. I think he takes a certain degree of pleasure in making violence that ultimately he's making violence cool. You know, like I don't like, you know, John Cena
like Tarantino,
going in,
somebody
like,
you love.
I agree, violence is not cool, but
Tarantino does it in a mean-spirited way as well.
Tarantino doesn't
blow a guy's head off and joke about it. I didn't mean for the fucking gun to go off. It just blew his head off.
But, okay, here's the thing about Tarantino, and you're right. There's a coolness to his films, and there's a coolness to the violence, but the jokes are funnier. If you're gonna be inappropriate and offensive,
when he says
that much funnier.
When he says, "Do I have a sign at the front that says dead N-word storage?" Like, it's like one of the funniest lines in that whole goddamn movie. Like,
well, like, dude, if the scene where he blows off Marvin's head,
it's offensive as hell, but it's funny.
If that happened in Suicide Squad, you guys would have not laughed.
He blew his head off, but there was blood on the back end of the thing, right? But it's not like they didn't show his face imploded on the back seat, like they did with that stupid comedy dude from Saturday Night Live. I don't care who his name is, right? They didn't show they didn't show the imploded face. They didn't, they showed gratuitous fight. They zoomed in on the bodies after they were dead for the sake of
that was too much. I didn't like that whole montage where they re-showed it. I was like, it was good enough seeing it the first time, but
I'm Ryan Johnson II. They're dead. They're dead guys. I subverted expectations. I'm subverting expectations by killing all the characters. You didn't think Michael Rooker would die in this? It did.
It reminds me of the kind of
stupid shit
I see frat boys making around, you know, like about like stupid shit, you know, like at one of their, you know, frat meetings or whatever. It's like,
you think she's in the younger guys? Hey, Flash. That's Zack Snyder, but you love that, but you don't like Suicide Squad. Get out of here.
Did I say I like that joke?
You love that movie.
I like the movie.
Jokes a part of that movie.
It's not filled.
I could find 30 other jokes like that.
It's not filled with the kind of jokes that are in the Suicide Squad. And to be fair to the Suicide Squad, as a movie as a whole, I would recommend it to people who like those type of movies.
And dude, the moment where
but I'll be honest, I don't think it's that much better than Army of the Dead.
You can fuck off.
I think it's got the same gratuitous sense of nihilism and fucking.
It's just as boring too.
And just
Black Widow wasn't boring when she's just walking around.
The jokes are just as the jokes. Would you say the jokes are just as funny in the Suicide Squad as they are in Army of the Dead? In that there isn't any funniness to them.
Dude, when she's introducing John Cena and she repeats what she said with him, and he's like, "What?" Like I thought we were supposed to be like
John Cena can't act. Man. It was boring.
Dude, when the girl gets when she gets out of bed and John Cena goes, "Millennials." Like those are good jokes. Come on.
Oh my god, dude! I didn't laugh. I'm going to be honest here. I did not laugh once in the Suicide Squad. Not once did I chuckle. I didn't even smile. I didn't even smile. Of course I didn't stick around. Are you serious? Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the king of one-liners. Of course I'm going to like that. What are you talking about? Knock, knock. It's not shitty. He's amazing. That's what you go to see Arnold Schwarzenegger film for. You see him for the one-liners and the action. You know what you're watching.
Listen, guys, next week we will be
not an
Arnie
film.
Movie heroes.
Wait. Yeah, that's a good point.
God.
Pickle is going to be doing a stream next week. Look out for it. We're going to be ranking action heroes, and it's going to get fucking, I think, lively in that one.
Oh my god! If he goes after Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're dead to me, man. I swear to God.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny is that Shang-Chi has been the least that we've been passionate about, like between us, and
because it's boring as hell. It's so mediocre, man.
It's mediocre.
Oh god, really? It's worse. Describing him at the end as a soul-sucking demon.
Shang-Chi's better than Black Widow. I'll say it. Shang-Chi's better than Black Widow.
You're an idiot.
All right. No. Here's what we're gonna do.
You're full of it. You're laughing because you know it's bullshit.
Oh, it was just funny.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put 2 minutes on the clock, and we're gonna do the Shang-Chi versus Black Widow. Let's do 4 minutes. 4 minutes each on the clock.
4 minutes each to talk about Shang-Chi versus Black Widow?
3. We'll do 3. We'll do 3 minutes.
Yeah, you don't need more than you don't really need more than 2 minutes, man. Just to start describing character development, you already win at Black Widow.
And we're gonna start with Fenya, then we're gonna go Paul, then Pickle.
I want someone hang on. If you're defending this is the thing, I'll give you the thing. If you're defending Shang-Chi against Black Widow, you need to defend the main character's arc.
No, we don't.
Good try. Yeah, exactly. Because you know there's none. Thank you. You're already winning right here.
Yeah.
No, well, Black Widow doesn't have an arc either.
Yeah. Oh my God, the red in her ledger, her sister's connection, her connection to her parent, her fake adopted parents. That's the whole point of that too, man. The reason why he lets them get taken away is because they're his adopted children. They're not real. They're not really his children.
Save it, Paul.
Yes, I don't care about these people. They're not an actual family.
All right, here we go.
Love how Nerman has a picture of Morbius still as his background.
Oh shit! Did I not change that? All right.
I sent him a picture to change it, and he still didn't.
I'm sure I did, because he did quite a good picture.
He's still got the Joffrey troll, though. He's still got the Joffrey troll thumbnail, though.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, let me see if I.
God, this is gonna be a hellhole.
This has been tough already. Let me see. All right, there we go. All right, so we're gonna start with you, Fenya. You ready? It's gonna be tough, I know.
Okay, then let's get this crap going on the road.
Oh, I'm gonna reset. Go.
Okay, first of all, Shang-Chi, it takes the prize. The fight scenes were great. It was entertaining. Didn't go on crazy, stupid physics. I'll admit, the character development wasn't that great. I'll admit that. I'm a man who knows that I admit flaws. But still better than Widow. That is all.
That's all.
That's all.
Oh, okay. That's all you've got. All right. Cool.
That is all he's got because Shang-Chi has no fucking character development at all. So let me eviscerate this film for you.
All right. Cool.
It borrowed from Rush.
Wait.
Start the clock. Let's go.
Oh.
It borrowed from Rush Hour with the bamboo stuff. The kung fu wasn't that great. Someone compared it to The Raid. That's bullshit. It's nothing near that level of kung fu action. The main character is boring. The main actor is boring. He looks bored during the film. Wen Wu is like the only good character in this whole film, besides his aunt at the end, who actually has a character development. Black Widow actually has character development. You find out about the Red Ledger. She beats the thing when she frees the widows. It expands the universe of the MCU. She adds her sister to the roster, who then goes into the Hawkeye series. We have we even have Madam Hydrometer at the end to talk about the possible Thunderbolts connection or Dark Avengers, whatever you want to go. Shang-Chi has a giant freaking skybeam dragon at the end that steals the souls of its victims called Katana, or might as well be because it's as boring as her. The final fight scenes in the blackness, the abyss that you can't even see properly anyway. The rings were crap. The rings weren't anything to do with the Mandarin from the comics. There were whips or there were power beams that shot out of his hands and punched people really hard. Garbage level kung fu action when it came to the rings of power. They made fun of the Mandarin's name in this. It was either Disney trying to score woke points or just a garbage lines. The sitting around the table scene is one of the worst scenes in all of the MCU. I count that even in WandaVision. At least WandaVision had some stylization to it sitting around the table. The story was garbage. You didn't know what was going on half the time. His sister was okay, but they never delved into her deeply at all. Aquafina's jokes were cringe level. They weren't funny. There wasn't a single funny line in this movie whatsoever, and he wasn't convincing. I go back again. As the main character, he was not convincing. He looked bored. The scene where he's like, "I'm going to do what my father taught me to do. I'm going to kill him." I was like, I don't care. Please let this movie goddamn end, please. Like, and then they have this white dude with the sword. It's like not even good, man. This movie is trash. This movie is boring. It is generic. It is mediocre. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon did the kung fu stuff and the dragon sort of mystical stuff. Chinese film, Asian film better, right? And Jackie Chan did the East meets West better in Shanghai Noon, for God's sake. That's the end of that. This movie is an evisceration. Black Widow you don't even need to defend that movie. The fact that the main character actually has the red in her ledger and explains that in this movie, they throw back to earlier in the Avengers films. It's based off of Civil War. The fact that it's a prequel and it adds to the MCU universe without taking away or modifying any characters. The fact that it's based in its own universe. The Taskmaster argument is crap because MCU will do whatever it wants. Right, with its things, we've seen it many times before. People get pissed off with all this stuff. Here and there, Doctor Strange didn't turn up in WandaVision, even though he's a state away. Like, this is the fundamental of Black Widow is that she actually had a character arc. It went from the beginning to the end, where she didn't trust her sister, where she didn't have feelings for her sister, and in the end, saying that her sister was right, their family mattered. Right? There was a character development and arc in that movie. Shang-Chi had no character development whatsoever. He was an assassin when he was a kid. Right. He was an assassin when he went to America, and he was an assassin when he left that thing and got the rings given to him by his father, but where his soul was sucked out. So sad. No one cared.
Good. Well done, Paul. All right. I've got a lot to say about that. That was some interesting comments there. I hope I can keep them all in because, I agree with a lot of that. Gonna reset. I'm gonna start for you, Pickle.
Wait, I need a second.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Oh. All right. Let's do it. You just said the Taskmaster was good because they change whatever they want whenever they want. It's not but then you just complained that the rings weren't like they were in the comics. But if they can change whatever they want whenever they want, then it was okay. The ring should be okay with you. Wenwu as a character, Tony Leung's face acting, the scene where he gets the revenge on the people who killed the mother, the fact that he's just a man in love and it's killing him, the fact that when he's like, all you cared about those damn rings, you picked those rings over us, we needed you, I'm gonna kill him. Like Simu Liu actually had a couple good scenes. Black Widow was lost in her own movie. Ooh, yay, we get to see the red in her ledger, which isn't even red because the girl that she killed wasn't even dead. She still survived and became Taskmaster, one of the worst villains in MCU history. Ooh, and we get Yelena now. She's an Avenger. She's gonna be in Hawkeye. Who cares? She's the exact same thing. Has the exact same moves, the same comedy. She looks the same. She's gonna be the exact same character, the jokey side hot girl that's never gonna be a main character. She's gonna be on the side of the Avengers doing flips and shit and giving jokes. Like, I don't care about that. Black Widow, the family part with Wenwu and Shang-Chi. I don't want to go back to that life. He trained me to be something after our mother died. I can't even look at you anymore because you look like my mother. I'm mad at you because you left me, brother. Then he goes, I'll never leave you again. The family stuff was better than Black Widow because in Black Widow, the family was fake. I didn't understand why they even loved each other. In the end, when Red Guardian's trying to like pour his heart and soul out, finally, yes, Red Guardian's going to give us this moment that he's been hiding with comedy the whole movie. And they just turn into a joke. He can't even tell the people that he loves them or whatever because they turn into a joke. He's like, oh, you aren't even listening to me? They waste his powers. Him and Taskmaster, that fight was trash. Taskmaster's abilities of replicating what you can do doesn't even happen after the first fight. Her ending was garbage. The villain was laughably stupid. The I'm going to sever the nerve was fucking ridiculous. Shang-Chi had a better score. It didn't look as good. I'll say that. Black Widow had a better cinematography, probably better writing, less MCU tropes. Black Widow actually might be a better, well-made film, but Shang-Chi, I will watch that any day. I'll skip to the action sequences. And Wenwu's performance, even though Shang-Chi has some cringy moments, Trevor Slattery is trash. I don't care. Its highs are way higher than anything Black Widow does. Wenwu is a singular, as a character, is a better character than any character in Black Widow. Him and the family dynamic, the martial arts, the bus scene, the side of the side of the building scene, him fighting the death handler or whatever, that guy with the mask. That kung fu, yeah, it's not Jackie Chan good, but like you said, it's copying this, it's copying that, it's copying blah blah blah. Black Widow's a copy of the Winter Soldier, her being on the run from the government and having a faceless maniac robot fighting her, then realizing it's somebody from her past. It's everything that movie did, but worse. It's a good movie. Shang-Chi's a good movie. The fact about it is the best movie this year is The Suicide Squad, but I think Shang-Chi is a more entertaining movie. Wenwu fighting in the opening 10 minutes of this movie are better than any 10 minutes in Black Widow, period. Yes, the lows are lower, but the highs are higher. It's a more enjoyable movie. Wenwu fucking rocks. Black Widow, it's pretty good.
All right. Well done.
Man, I just want to say that he never talked about the main character once in his arc. I just want to put that.
Yeah, I did. I said when he was talking about him and Wenwu's character.
That one time when he interacted with his father.
I couldn't say anything about Black Widow either. Black Widow didn't have an arc. The red in her lecture wasn't even red. She didn't even.
Look, all right. Let's just like
Dracov's daughter wasn't even a thing.
Let's get this thing on the road. All right, I'm gonna go. There's a lot to take in from what all of you just said. Look,
I mean, you fucking nerd, man. Don't time yourself. You just go because it's your stream. Just go.
No. I'll time myself. It's fair. I'll say this. Look, I don't hate either of these movies, right? And there's things that Shang-Chi did that I find interesting. I do think that once the Trevor Slattery character came in, the humor went way off the rails. He was even worse than Awkwafina. Awkwafina, I don't really blame her, the actress, so much, but the material they gave her for the most part was bad, and it was MCU specific bad, i.e. humor simply put in so that you can continue being entertained by the stupid story, i.e. there's parts of the humor that don't make sense. Like being okay with Shang-Chi going into a cage fight with like a potential beast or killer or whatever. That's just there, not because it makes sense to the character, but because it will make everyone laugh. The guy in the bus, who was funny at first, who was filming the scene, funny guy at first, but like after a while, when the bus is chopped in half, this guy would be frightened out of his mind, or maybe trying to drive the bus, when there was no driver of the bus and he was the only person free, but they had to make a joke out of that as well. There's humor in this that just doesn't work. Everything Trevor says doesn't work. The good things about the movie are the villain. I did feel his motivation, but once again, you have the stock, generic villain, understandable villain that the MCU always kind of throws out. Fair enough. This villain actually, all the way through, you see why he's sympathetic, as opposed to just slapping on something sympathetic at the end. So I appreciate it for that, at least. Shang-Chi himself is one of the weakest main characters in all of the MCU. His sister story made more sense of why she should become the hero than his story. That's plain facts. The fact that the father didn't let her do the martial arts and all of that kind of stuff. That was more compelling than Shang-Chi's reason. Shang-Chi, I didn't get it. His father sent him to kill the person who killed his mother. I would have thought that would be something you'd relate to. That wouldn't be the thing that causes a gulf between him and the father. As for Black Widow is a darker, more sophisticated, and also just, it has humor, but it's humor that emanates naturally from the characters. It's not humor that is just there, just to make you laugh. It's like humor that has a heart. It has it goes somewhere at least. And apart from that, as I was saying, the tone of it is more serious. It takes the characters more seriously, so you take the story more seriously. And also the allegory it does do to female trafficking is, something that is one of the things that adds substance to the movie, as opposed to a lot of MCU movies that don't have that kind of substance. The villain is somebody you actually do want to see defeated because of what he's doing and because it reminds us of things that are happening in the real world. And I think Black Widow and her sister are just much better main characters. They have much better chemistry than anybody in the Shang-Chi movie. That's me.
Look, I'm just happy that the 3 superhero movies that have come out this year so far, I've liked all of them. Because, Paul and myself, we have a tendency to not like things. But I've been pleasantly surprised. I do think that Black Widow is probably a better film if I were to actually break it down. Shang-Chi has way more of the MCU elements that I'm tired of. I just liked it more. I don't know. Like the great parts, I would rather rewatch. I don't know if I'll ever rewatch Black Widow. Like ever. It was a one-time thing. It's kind of boring. Like Shang-Chi has some amazing things I've never seen before.
I'll say this about Black Widow.
You haven't watched much Asian cinema, have you, man?
I haven't.
Yeah, see, no. I've seen it all before. It's all copies and done.
But like
worse.
Black Widow's just like the Bourne movies. It's a generic action movie. It's a James Bond movie. You even said it.
It's a generic MCU movie where Shang-Chi's trying to. They're saying it's like the second. It's not. It's nothing new. There's nothing new in this movie at all. The mysticism isn't new. The kung fu isn't new. The wushu isn't new. Jet Li, an actual wushu fighter, actually a champion wushu fighter in China, is obviously better at wushu than this guy, right? There's just better movies. Jet Li does one. The Hero, much better movie. If you want like the Chinese mysticism sort of style movie, or you can watch. I forget the name of it now. It's a redemption movie where it's based on a true story. Like the guy, it's based on. It's like Ip Man as well. It's like the same storyline. He starts the wushu like training, like compound or whatever that Ip Man actually trains in. So like there's a storyline there to watch. Like Ip does it better, man. Like Donnie Yen is a much better martial artist than this guy. Like, it's just that there's just way better like Asian movies out there to watch, like kung fu movies to watch. This movie is generic.
It's not good.
And other movies.
Dude, no, but like other movies. But I'm just talking like we're talking about like this is doing Chinese culture or whatever, right? They're doing kung fu. It's very heavily Chinese mysticism in it.
But it's
like
Chinese American. It's showing the blend of like, what if he ran away to America? So it has.
I don't get. We've talked about this on another stream. I don't get his motivation. He wants to kill his dad simply because his dad sent him off to kill the person who killed his mother. I get. Like that might be like fucking traumatic or whatever, like to get a child to do, but he could at least understand perhaps his dad's anger and fury at the people.
He does. That's why he doesn't actually go through with killing him.
No. He says, "I'm gonna kill my dad for that." Like I'm gonna kill my dad simply because and you don't think about it from the perspective of coming from our world. He's got a specific world that he's part of, i.e. he's been trained to be a martial artist. I'm talking about his world in terms of how he was raised.
Yeah, how he was raised after the age of 10 when he was ripped away from his mother to become an assassin. Yes,
he wasn't ripped away from his mother. His mother was killed by some fucking goons,
and he was forced to be hit with sticks.
And his dad wanted vengeance on him. Yeah, but that's how you train him to be a fucking great fighter. It's not like he was abusing him. He was abusing
him. Cutting his face with daggers, making him train with assassins, making him go to commit
a murder. That's not abuse. That's training.
For a 14-year-old to take in.
Training, dude.
I'm gonna kill him for doing that.
Dude, that's
it's training, my dudes. You're reaching.
Training to be an assassin.
No, you're reaching.
That's not abuse. That is training.
The story doesn't make any sense. The story doesn't make any sense, man. The motivation. Nerdman is right. Nerdman is completely right. It doesn't make sense. His motivations don't make sense. His motivations don't work, man. His motivations don't work. They're literally for the plot. They're literally like the dinosaur in Jurassic World. The plot it does whatever the plot requires of it. That's what Shang-Chi does in this movie.
By the way, even in the movie, it shows that he starts training himself, where he's punching the thing till his thing bleed, right? And his father comes in and stops him from doing it. His father is like, oh no, son,
you're getting
because
it finally.
He loves him.
He's been conditioned to do it so much that he's training by himself.
No, he loves him.
To make his dad happy.
He loves him.
He loves him, and he tells him to stop doing it, and then he goes back and does it himself. He likes,
and then he just runs away. No, man, you're forgetting the worst plot of all. They run away. He runs away. Then his sister does because he doesn't come back, and he's like, "I let you live your lives for 10 years." In the dinner table. Remember that line? I was like, oh yeah, cool. So he just let them live their lives for 10 years and then decides to come for him now? That makes sense. Good stuff.
What, the Red Guardian has power better than Captain
America? It's only for the plot. It's just for the plot of the movie. It makes no sense character-wise.
Address Red Guardian being in prison. Address him being in prison. And not
of course, he betrayed him. He tells you on that helicopter on the way out. What are you talking about?
How does he not break out of that prison?
Dude,
Captain America.
He doesn't break out. He doesn't break out because he trusts the Soviet. Dude, he's Soviet Union, man. You don't understand. That's conditioning. He's a communist at heart.
The same bullshit excuse. That's a dumb moment. Just admit it.
It's not dumb. He stays in there.
He doesn't want to be in that prison.
He stays in there because there's nowhere else to go, man.
Yeah, if he went out of the prison, he'd be in more danger. Don't you get that?
They just shoot him.
They just shoot him. That in the movie. In the movie. He complains about being in prison.
All right, they could have said it. Pickle, they could have said it, but I mean, you can extrapolate that from the movie. Whereas what
you can extrapolate that a 14-year-old would run away after murdering somebody.
Yeah, but why would he be angry if his father had have sent somebody, or sorry, if his father, it was shown that his father was fighting these guys and he killed some of them, and that's why the mother died. Then that would have been a nice a nice way to round it off. But here's the problem with what they did with the Shang-Chi kind of going off angry with the father because of that. It wasn't that the father used him to advance his criminal empire. His father used him to do something that he probably would have wanted to do himself. You can't tell me that he wouldn't have wanted to avenge his mother.
Yes, but when
you can't tell me if his father had never have sent him to kill the people who killed his mother, and that just suddenly randomly he had have come across the guy who killed his mother, right? Like in America or something. You trying to tell me he wouldn't have wanted to fuck him up?
Let's say he did it and he killed him. He would have felt terrible. And the fact that his dad trained him to do it made him have contempt for him. It's complex. It's not black and white.
Pickle, why did the sister run away?
Because her dad treated her like shit.
The story makes more sense. The sister story makes more sense.
The sister did. She wasn't trained. She wasn't trained.
She wasn't. Yeah, exactly. She was excluded, and he wouldn't even look at her in the face.
Yeah, she trained herself and then ran away because the brother didn't come back.
She felt like a ghost in her own house.
And then she went and made an underground somehow with no money. She made an underground fight ring with no money, and then she trained really hard at throwing a rope and a knife together, and that's what her story arc is. That's her entire arc of the movie.
No, okay. That's true, but
that's her arc.
Paul,
anybody want to argue against that? That's her arc.
No. Wait 1 second. Pickle is right in this. And this is why actually Pickle, the sisters, are more compelling character and has better motivations. So she's not after her mother dies, her dad shuns her because she reminds him of the mother, right? And she's just like there. He doesn't look after her. Then he goes on to train the brother for many years. Then the brother runs away, and I think the father goes somewhere and basically leaves her. I think it was her mother's grave.
No, she just says that. No, she literally says in the movie, it's a throwaway line. She runs away because he never comes back. The brother doesn't come back, so she runs away. Dude, watch it. That's what she says.
She's left at the compound.
She says she runs away because he doesn't come back.
Because
he's the only reason.
Pickle, confirm this, man. Pickle, confirm this. She runs away because he doesn't come back.
The dad abandons her as well.
No. She runs away.
She says, "I waited 6 years for you. That's when I realized you weren't coming back. I ran away."
Yeah,
but
and then she ran away.
Keeping her there because she hates her life there. Having her brother there's the only reason she's there. If he's not there, she never sees her dad. He won't look at her. He won't train her. It makes complete sense that she'll run away.
The dad abandons her as well. That's the whole point. The dad isn't there for her either. So
he never even goes around her and talks to her. Yeah. Even if he's there, he never even interacts with her.
For 8 years, she doesn't see her father or her brother. That's why she runs away.
Yes, and Nerdman, can I say something that's even stupider? Yeah, fucking Shang-Chi. It's even dumber that Shang-Chi will run away at 14, go to America, no money in his pocket, no connections, and live a life where he gets to go to school and meet Katie. Because even if he goes to America and hustles and he works his ass off, gets money, he's sleeping on the streets. He's got to build from nothing. You can't go to public or private school if you don't have parents. How the fuck did he get to school and become a member of society, get an ID, get a license? How did he build this life up to where he's working?
Immigrants do that shit all the time, dude.
No, they don't. You cannot go to school without parents. How did he do it?
No. I mean that they come to a country and they fucking find their way. I've heard.
They don't come at. I'm sorry, they don't come at 14 and then attend high school.
Well, I don't know about all
guardians.
that. I don't know the intricacies of all that, but I can say that I've heard immigrants do incredible things in terms of building themselves up from absolutely nothing, coming with fucking $5 or whatever.
Yes, if they're in their 20s or 30s, but when you come in at 14, you have to have parents. You have to have a zip code. There's so many things that you have to go into a school for him to even meet Katie.
I can allow the film that. I mean, I'm not.
That's even dumb. That's stupid.
That's kind of minutia.
Listen, Pickle. What he did was he went to a dreamer city. Okay, that's what happened. Okay.
He probably was.
That solves your entire problem. He went to a dreamer city.
He was probably looked after by some Asian.
All illegal immigrants are welcome at dreamer cities, man. They can get jobs, etc. Do you not know about dreamer cities? They're in America.
I don't know what that is. I'm talking about that. He met Katie in high school. How the fuck did he get into school? Period.
Yeah, he went to Dreamer City and they got him into a school.
So they forged him an ID and they faked.
That's what happened. Dreamer cities, man. Illegals can go there and work, etc. It's perfect. Anyway, it makes perfect sense. This movie is perfect, man.
They didn't think about it.
Pickle was just arguing how perfect it was.
No,
it's not even a great movie. It's really good.
Let's because I haven't got that much more time, but I want to react to something after. But I want to do our final thoughts on this. Look, I don't know how anyone. I mean this because just on some basic principle levels, apart from Black Widow being, I don't know, some superhero mutant in the film, which doesn't make sense. I'll grant you that. It hasn't come up that much in your criticism, but boy, oh boy, did she survive some shit that I don't think she should have been able to survive. That was dumb. But apart from that, I think the movie was pretty fucking well done. I think that, what's her name? Scarlett Johansson had a lot of influence as a producer, and because of how underserved her character had been in the MCU previously, so they gave her a little bit more leeway to make the film that she wanted to make. and I think that improved the tone and everything of the movie. The Red Guardian was good, a fun character. I know his last action scene was shit, but apart from that, I cared about him, I cared about her, and I cared about the family. And I just think basic filmmaking 101, the way that the film constantly referred back on itself, in a Black Widow, so that there was a complete arc of all of the characters. I think that was done much better than anything in this, any of the characters in the Suicide Squad, and much better than in Shang-Chi. So just on a basic storytelling level and writing level, Black Widow all day, every day. Plus music, cinematography, everything was on point. The only thing that I had a problem with, really, the biggest thing, was just how ridiculous some of her survival things were in the movie. So that's my kind of, if you want to put it down to why I would say so clearly Black Widow is just easily the best movie. That's it. It's the storytelling is just fucking superior, and that it this does callbacks to Black Widow in previous movies as well, making it a satisfying send off for her. I think that makes it the better movie. I can see Pickle wants to, this is your final say on this before we react to a video. But
yeah, I'm just gonna praise all three movies. Black Widow, even though I've been trying to argue against it, I think that it was Scarlett Johansson's best performance yet. I think she had a lot of depth, a lot of emotion behind her eyes. Even like when Tony Leung wouldn't talk, but he would speak with his eyes. Scarlett Johansson did that a lot in this movie. I loved Red Guardian. Even, like, I'm shitting on the comedy. Like, I thought he was amazing. Didn't love Yelena, but she wasn't bad. I think it was a competently made, well shot, nice, good movie that I enjoyed. Just the rewatchability factor just isn't there for me. I don't ever want to rewatch it again. I just naturally want to say Trash Master. Trash Master really killed it for me. One of the worst villains in the
Shit
MCU.
Master. I think
Shit
it's more
Master,
Shit Master.
whatever. Shang-Chi, like I said, it's the freshest one. I really enjoyed it. Very flawed. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Objectively, it's probably more like a 6, but I enjoyed it so much. And Wenwu, dude, if Wenwu wasn't in it, this movie would be borderline bad. But like Wenwu elevates it. Then I've said it.
I don't like
what I
the
want to
rings
say
either, by the way. But
what?
I've said what I had to say, but I didn't.
Oh yeah,
like
I enjoyed. I've accepted that he's not the Mandarin from the comics. I've accepted the rings aren't what I want him to be. So for what it is, I enjoyed how he used the rings and how the rings were implemented into the story as a emotional thing. The allure around the rings, the way that Shang-Chi would look at the rings in fear. And then the Suicide Squad, I loved it. 8 out of 10. My favorite one so far. I understand if you didn't like it, if you thought it was cringe. I get, you guys made good points about you just kind of ruining moments, like you're just killing innocent people that I'm supposed to root for you. Polka Dot Man, he died way too soon. If Polka Dot Man wouldn't have died like that, this movie would be like 8.5 or a 9 because I was loving him. That pissed me off to no end. Movie's not perfect, has a lot of flaws, but I really liked all of these movies. And I'm not excited for the Eternals. I think it's going to ruin the streak of me enjoying these movies. But so far, man,
already did that.
Good job, guys, so far. You've gotten Pickle to smile a few times, so yay.
Yeah. I'll just one thing though. I do co-sign that we're getting a lot of comic book movies. I don't like the fact that we're not getting real superheroes. We're just getting like comic book characters who are like human, whatever. But apart from that, I do like that we're getting so many comic book movies, and we should be happy with that in some sense. In some sense, I'm not saying they're beyond criticism, but I do think that and they're very different. They're not just all the same.
Yeah.
I think they need to shake things up a little bit more. I think because they are getting a bit generic in terms of good guy versus bad guy, and who wins and etc. etc. But apart from that, we're getting like different tones, different style, and that kind of thing. So I enjoy that. Paul's what's going on with Paul? He's just
no, none of us heard you say anything. You just stopped talking.
I think
Paul,
he's drunk.
are you there?
I'm here. I'm waiting. Are you finished?
Yeah, I'm saying yeah, I'll finish.
Okay, this guy's obviously drunk. I mean, look at his eyes. They're down.
Drunk on
Paul,
death.
where are you gonna go?
Yeah, no. Black Widow is the best one. It's the only one I'd watch again, and I don't watch many movies again anyway. The Suicide Squad I hate that movie with a passion. I don't like it. I've said the reasons why in this video. But yeah, it's not my thing. Shang-Chi's boring. It's slow. It's cringe. Nothing happens in it, and I just wanted it to end. And I think the Eternals is going to be even worse. I don't know, comic movies are kind of, I agree, there's an oversaturation at the moment. I think that it's coming to an end, hopefully, please God, so that we can have a break from comic movies every year. And I say that as a nerd, but I just feel like I need something more creative coming out of Hollywood other than comic book movies, tentpole movies. I prefer something original and interesting. But I don't see that happening anytime in the future because I've got the Batman next year.
Dune.
God help us. So, yeah, like Dune, an actually original franchise that could be on a Star Wars level if they do it correctly and people aren't retards and actually go see it.
You see those first reactions?
But
no, I haven't.
I won't say anything.
I haven't seen first reactions. And I don't really care what critics have to say, to be honest, because they basically get it wrong 90% of the time anyway. The first reactions to Birds of Prey were, it's so amazing, and it was a piece of shit. So you know.
They're like, I saw like 6 or 7 people, they saw it at the Venice Film Festival or whatever, and every single one were like, this is a game changer, it is a sci-fi masterpiece, it's going down as an all-time classic, it got a 5-minute standing ovation. They're hyping it up hardcore. At least like 10 people.
I don't like that. I don't like that hyping it up, man, because audiences are not going to care about the hype beast, man. They're gonna, you know, that doesn't give me much confidence in the movie, to be honest. Because I don't like critics.
They were just saying what they were saying after Joker. I'm just done. Like what they were saying about Joker.
Yeah. What they were saying about Joker, they're idiots, man. Seriously.
Yeah, they're a bunch of idiots. They don't like a certain tone of comic movie, and
they're idiots though. That's the thing. But no, because he used to Marvel popcorn, shit-eating movies, like generic, just like, dude, Shang-Chi is like the most paint-by-numbers movie I've ever seen, like, from the MCU. It is the most generic movie I've ever seen from the MCU.
Do you like it better than Black Panther?
No, Black Panther's better. Black Panther is better.
Oh, I like this better than Black Panther, definitely.
Oh my God, really? Dude, it was so boring. At least Killmonger was actually good for majority of the movie as well. When was like in 10% of this film? Dude, he's in 10% of the film. And at the end, he's just bashing on a wall. Come out, my love. Come out. Boom, boom.
Let's go kill the colonists. Wink, wink, white people.
I can hear him. I can hear him. I can hear her. She's calling to me from the wall.
That is white people when they say colonists.
I'm just saying they didn't have the balls to say white people. Let's go kill
colonizers. They said colonizers. Colonizers, man. Colonizers are the white people.
Hey, anyway, look, dude. I just want to say this about Black Panther. It's got Claw and it's got Killmonger, and they're better than fucking.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, way better than Wenwu, man. Way better.
I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
And Claw is like in 2 movies. He's so good. He's that great in Ultron.
He is cringe in Black Panther.
No, he's really cool, man. No, he was amazing, dude. He's amazing. He's really good in that film, especially when he's like in the car and he turns his hand into like a flipping gun. I don't freaking vibranium gun.
Squad. I like him, but come on.
He was good. He was great.
He was good. Anyway, Anya, before we react to the last thing, what do you have to say?
Well, I agree with that comment.
There we go, Mr. Okay. I think they're both okay anyway. Black Panther and Shang-Chi.
Don't forget they also gave us the mystical advanced civilization, but Chinese. So, what China then, or China Kanda, or I'm trying to figure out a funny name.
Well, can you do your own wrap up quick before
Shang-Chi by the seashore?
Do your wrap up, bro.
You're drunk, Paul. Get off.
Okay, then. All right, then. Y'all know me. I'm Fenrir. I love going around with these guys and throwing the shit. And just met Paul for the first time. He seems like
that. I mean, wrap up.
I'm drunk, Pickle. I'm drunk.
Wrap up of what you think of the films, man. Like the wrap up of your last statement on the films.
To be specific, dude. We've been at this for 2 hours. I thought we were just gonna
go on, please. Go on.
Oh God. Oh God.
Okay. Okay. Out of everything, I admit one thing: they are all watchable. If you like them, that's good. They are to be liked. I mean, even Black Widow, if you're a fan of the character for a long time, you can enjoy. Shang-Chi has a lot of problems, but it's still a lot of problems, but it's still watchable. Suicide Squad has a lot more problems, but still watchable. So, yeah, at the end of the day, this is all watchable. So just go for it. Take my word for it. Just go. I'm done.
Okay, you're done. Cool. I'm gonna put on something now as a reaction. Now, people know that I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of this media personality.
No, you're one of the biggest haters.
Haters?
Who is it?
You despise this person.
Is it John Campion? Is it Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers?
Some of the things
no, Paul. It's our boy. It's our boy.
Our boy.
Let's see.
Which one?
I'm trying to find exactly the one where he breaks down the MCU.
It's our Lord and Savior, far right maniac.
He's not a far right. Well, I don't like some of the stuff he had to say about George Floyd, but like,
is it Ben Shapiro? Is that what he's Shapiro. Oh my God!
Yeah. Who Nerdman has called far right before?
Far right? He's a Jew. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
The far right hate the Jews, man. What are you talking about?
His opinion on movies. He wants us to react to something that he said about the MCU, and Nerdman likes it because it aligns with his views.
Oh, so then it's generic or whatever. But this is like a guy that called out The Last Jedi too, and like I appreciate Ben Shapiro for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Last Jedi was shit.
Where is it?
Yes, it broke the Star Wars until Mandalorian came along.
Yeah, I mean,
must be
to like it, you'd probably have to be into the effect of the most powerful drugs on the planet.
Okay.
I think you just have to understand Star Wars fundamentally.
All right. Forget what he says about Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? I want people to react to this in terms of what he says about the MCU.
Why?
And told me exactly why. I think he sums up everything like quite well. And told me exactly where. I want to know where he's wrong. Where has he got it wrong?
It's a dog crap when I see it. The original just.
Okay.
Oh, good. I've been listening to this guy so long. There we go. I look forward to him speaking really fast.
All right, here we go.
Good Lord.
Advertising.
First time I've actually fully agreed with Ben Shapiro. So I thought.
He's talking about Justice League.
Yes.
He's talking about Justice League in this.
Got the script.
Not the 4-hour thing.
Cut.
I agree with
2
Shapiro
hours
a lot.
from the movie and redo a bunch of it, reshoot a bunch of it. And when the movie comes out, nobody's happy with it. Ben Affleck is really unhappy with it. Henry Cavill is deeply unhappy with it. Like, nobody wants to be associated with the film. In fact, there's an anecdote that came out where Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder's wife actually saw Justice League, and they said to Zack Snyder, "It is our mission in life that you never have to subject yourself to the film," because the film had been so mutilated. When it came out, I panned it. I'm not so much of a DC homer that I can't acknowledge a piece of dog crap when I see it. The original Justice League is truly an awful movie, surpassing its awfulness only by the first Suicide Squad, which is really, really bad as well.
What, we some kind of
my guy?
After the original Justice League comes out in 2017,
the Suicide Squad
makes me want to kill myself. Actually had put together a lot more film, and that there's a bunch of films sort of on the cutting room floor, that there was this script, and Zack Snyder was putting out maybe it's little Spider-Man of what Justice League was supposed to look like, and people get really into this. And so online, there's this
you don't have this ready.
I will admit that I'm one of the people who is tweeting out #release the Snyder cut, because I kind of like.
Not Ben Shapiro. He's on my ban list now. I'm going to go block him.
Comic books.
Not #release the Snyder cut's over. I'm going to go block him.
Wait.
It's not radically different from.
Goodbye, Ben. That's the most offensive thing. Can I just say this for the internet record? That's the most offensive thing he's ever tweeted. That hashtag is the most offensive thing he's ever tweeted.
I think the George Floyd thing was worse. But let's do that again. That was a little bit beautiful.
I will admit that I'm one of the people who is tweeting out #release the Snyder.
Bye, Ben.
Because I kind of like Zack Snyder's work. One of the things about Zack Snyder that you really see in this movie and in all of his other movies that have to do with comic books is his movies actually look like graphic novels, which is super cool. If you freeze frame anything from a Marvel movie, it's not radically different from what you would see on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because everything kind of looks like Joss Whedon. It almost looks like a TV movie in certain ways. But everything in
he
Zack
took
Snyder
one of
movie
the least appealing looking movies.
It looks like it's a panel.
The Avengers is one of the worst looking of them.
300 looks like a panel from a graphic novel. Or Watchmen looks like a panel from a graphic novel, which is really kind of cool as a fan of the graphic novels. This starts to trend. It becomes a thing. And then a couple of years ago, HBO Max and Warner Brothers decided that they were going to give Zack Snyder $70 million.
Wait, he's just talking about how the Snyder Cut came to power. He's not talking about anything about the actual cut. I didn't need to know. I didn't need to know about the build-up of Release the Snyder Cut. I already know what happened.
I know. I don't know the exact
point
in the
Cyborg. There are accusations when Cyborg's character became basically an afterthought who said "booyah" in the original Justice League.
Booyah.
Oh God.
That had been done because of race. And maybe that's right. Maybe that's wrong. I will tell you that Cyborg actually has an entire storyline that is rather critical to the Justice League frame here. The Flash is in it for like 5 seconds in the original Justice League.
New 52.
His main job
Trash.
is for some reason move civilians out of the way in this sort of nuclear radiation infused area of Russia, which is a super Joss Whedon.
Hey, actually saving civilians, what heroes do.
Imagine that. And Superman rushes to do it in fast things.
It's actually all about the externalities that happen when gods come to Earth.
If you watch Man of Steel,
at the very end of Man of Steel, when Superman is fighting Zod, they're throwing each other through buildings. Thousands of people are dying. And in fact, that is the...
Yeah, that's Zack Snyder. That's Zack Snyder, Ben. He did that. He did 1,500 9/11s in one shot.
Given these godlike powers, why are we trusting you to do the right thing when you had this fight with this guy in the city and killed thousands of people? So the costs to humanity at large are actually being taken into account in the universe, whereas in the Marvel universe, everything is just sort of elided. When these people are bashing the crap out of each other in the middle of a major city, everybody is somehow okay. So
no, that's why Civil War happens.
Kind of thing with
that's bullshit, Ben. Oh God, do you bleed? Oh God, you will.
In the new Zack.
Yeah, I forgot that movie Civil War. What was that movie about again? I forgot.
Oh, remember, let's just say all the consequences to all the things that they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody else with Helix. Unique. Helix knows that for cooling you down.
I forgot about that movie where they do address the consequences and dropping buildings on kids.
Yeah, remember that. And then they have a civil war between the characters because they don't want to come under government rule. Imagine that.
HelixSleep.com/bet. They will match you. Like Helix Sleep.
Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth. Oh, thanks for that, Ben. I'll go buy it now.
FlashActionSleep.com/Ben.
Superior.
Flash actually doing things that are meaningful. In fact,
wait, I need to go back. I need to see that code again. I need to get me one of those.
Oh yeah, like I love that scene in that movie. It's so good. Oh look, it's Daddy. I can do it, Daddy.
That is not what the Flash
I did it, Daddy. I did it.
Force has to channel his energy in a couple of different ways.
Yeah, that didn't explain the Speed Force. That didn't explain why his lightning's blue instead of yellow.
In this, there's a real resonance when Superman comes back. So you'll remember that Superman dies at the end of Batman.
Superman comes back. He dies stupidly.
Well,
yeah, but that means nothing because the cube is what opens his heart up to living again.
It's almost like he didn't think about it.
And then he's alive, and that all happens.
Yeah, it's like Snyder was writing it from the seat of his pants.
Superman only really makes his reappearance about 2/3 of the way through the film. So you have this entire first part of the film where the Justice League gets together.
I don't know. This is the video. I'm
this is the other
sure.
part. Then
why the fuck are we watching this?
In the last
oh my god, dude! I'm
every other movie villain.
Just like the Snyder Cut, the explanation of this is putting me to sleep as well.
I mean, he has a video called Ben Shapiro's Big Problems with Avengers Endgame. Is that the one you're talking about?
Maybe it is. I don't know. Like there was one where he.
No, he just wanted to pump the dude. Pickle, you know what he was doing. He's smiling the whole time. He's just trying to pump it. He's just trying to pump Zack Snyder's Justice League again.
I see the.
It's a 4-hour snowfest. So it is so boring. Nothing happens until the end of that movie.
Dude, this was not me trying to big up Zack Snyder. It was actually like the comments that he made about the MCU that was like interesting to me. And I wanted. I
just love that Nerdman has Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire like up right now.
Yeah, he's advertising.
Amazing.
I've never
hit that subscribe. I want to see you hit that subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe. Hit the subscribe.
I will
hit the subscribe button.
Look, I'm going to subscribe just so I can unsubscribe. There you go. I'm going to unsubscribe too.
Join us all on the dark side.
It's still there, buddy. It's still there.
I can't.
Join us all on the bright side.
Nerdman doesn't like. Nerdman will not give up his seat at the bar for a Jewish person. Confirmed.
That's right. Be the Spider-Man one. I don't know, but I'm gonna watch the whole thing again because.
No Way Home.
But he said good news about the Spider-Man trailer as well, which I didn't think of. But yeah, like what was the major thing he pointed out about the Spider-Man trailer? He was like, oh yeah, like basically he's like complaining that everyone isn't going to know his identity. He's like, oh wait a minute, Aunt May should know my identity. Like Ben Shapiro says, well, why don't you just go and tell her?
That's exactly right.
Just retell Ned and May.
Just retell them. Yeah, just retell them. Yeah.
It's like it's so stupid.
Oh no, you know what happened? You know what would happen? Because this is dumpster fire MCU Spider-Man. He'll go, MJ, I'm Spider-Man. She's like, I knew it the whole time. Fuck off. Like she did in, Far From Her. The same thing, she knew the whole time.
Anyway, guys,
Tom Holland is trash. That Spider-Man is trash. Tobey Maguire's going to save that entire movie by himself. Watch it happen. Shout out to you, Mike. Pretty much. Shout out to you.
Pretty much.
Does anyone have anything really pressing to say about Shang-Chi or anything?
No, it's boring as hell.
No, not
Everyone
really.
should skip that Snowfest. Eternal's probably going to be more exciting than that movie.
Oh, no. Eternals is going to suck. It is going to suck hard.
I'm going to laugh so hard if Eternals is better. Oh, Pickle, I'm going to laugh so hard.
The charisma in that trailer is nil. All those characters.
It is going to suck hard. They all look exactly the same. They all look exactly the same, act pretty much the same. It's going to fail hard.
No, one has I-beam powers. Another one can like super speed. Another one has like another one has Bollywood dancing powers.
No, they all
Bollywood dancing powers.
They all
have the same powers. The only difference is if you were stronger in specific things.
They all can shoot yellow energy.
Hey man, I'm looking forward to that Bollywood scene, man. The most out of all of the movie. I want to see him do the dance, even though he's Pakistani.
Yeah, they all have the same energy manipulation powers. They can just
Street Fighter.
No, can they all use the I-beam powers? Can they, Pickle? Are they all Superman?
They all have the same powers of energy manipulation.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
And they can manipulate.
I'm looking forward to the CGI, the same level as Black Panther. I'm looking forward to that CGI, man. That's what this trailer looks like.
Some of the CGI did look rough, but you know what always used to bother me? Paul, you just reminded me about like Street Fighter. I was always like, why the fuck is Dalsim a fighter? I mean, when did yoga become a style of fighting? Right? What the fuck is that?
I'm looking forward to them being around. Like, we've been around for generations. we knew that the Thanos was coming. We did nothing, and now there's a 5-day event. The 5,000 people, the half the planets come back, and it's triggering an event, the Event Horizon, where we have like 7 days to do some shit that no one cares about.
They couldn't interfere unless it was. They can't interfere unless it's a deviant, even though Thanos is half deviant.
Don't forget they say they didn't interfere in human society, but they created cultures, created empires, they caused harm and destruction.
But the MCU rules state that he's not half a demon, man, in this universe. So that's what they're gonna say.
Yeah,
how is he not?
He can't even be.
They'll make him not MCU. When
are you eating a
how is Scarlet Witch, dude? How is Scarlet Witch? How is Scarlet Witch like only being called Scarlet Witch now? Oh, it's the MCU. That's why.
It's who's shitting their pants?
It'd be like it's Fenrir when he watches Eternals. It's probably more entertaining.
Fenrir, stop shitting yourself, man.
It's because One Direction.
Shit myself.
It's like somebody ripped a fat ass. Somebody ripped ass hard.
Wasn't me, but I heard it. And I was like, "That's me during the Eternals, though." It was me during the Eternals.
The Eternals is gonna suck.
Dude, can we just say right now? Can we say that? Can we say that? Eventually, Nerdman's gonna be right in that. Marvel. I think the start of it is Shang-Chi. They're mediocre. They are mediocre, man. The writing in the shows on Disney Plus are the same. Literally nothing happens, and the last episode is exposition. That's every single series now, right? We find out everything.
Was Disney Plus.
Shang-Chi is mediocre. It's not good. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. It's just mediocre.
One bad movie.
Which is next.
One thing.
The only thing that saves Spider-Man, man, the only thing that saves that is the fact that Tobey Maguire and Garfield are in it. I tell you the truth, man, if Tobey Maguire and Garfield aren't in that film, and the reports have been incorrect, right, and it's just Tom Holland in multiverses or whatever, that movie is going to get so shit on. They already
proved it. I believe they're not going to be there. They already said Daredevil's not going to be it either, so there's a big chance they're not going to make it.
That's so stupid too, man. Oh my god,
dude! If Molina and Jamie Foxx show up and all the other villains, but they don't, I would be more disappointed than any movie in my life ever.
No, I'll tell you this. Here's an exclusive. Exactly. Jess told me. This is what Jess told me. Jess told me that if Tobey Maguire and Garfield aren't in this film, she won't watch another MCU film ever.
That is very understandable.
I'm not, man. I'm dead serious. I wouldn't even bring it up. She literally said that to me, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Movie again ever, just on principle.
No, man, because you want to review them.
If Toby,
I kind of agree with that, though, man, because they built this up, this multiverse. If Toby isn't in this film, I won't watch another MCU film again. I'm not going to do another troll. I'm not having another Mandarin troll happen to me, or a Ralph Boner. God damn.
If they're not in the movie, Kevin Feige should have said that a minute ago, bro. He should
have
no batteries a minute ago.
Yeah, but you guys are lying because X-Men, Fantastic Four, Blade, you're gonna watch those.
No. If you do a Spider-Verse movie, man, and you don't have other Spider-Man in it, they canalize the freaking villains, but not Toby or Andrew. Get out, man. I'm out. I'm over it. I'm done.
But it's not happening. They're confirmed. They're in it. They're in it.
They haven't. Andrew has not confirmed that they're in it.
100%.
Neither has Toby. No, Andy Signor confirmed it, and who gives a shit what he says?
And those reports also said Alfred Molina and Green Goblin were back. That was right. Toby was spotted in.
No, we don't know that that's Green Goblin. You know who that could be? Here's a good theory for you. It actually could be Harry.
Paul, I've seen leaked pictures. He's in it.
No, it could be Harry, man. It could be Harry.
It's Willem Dafoe.
No, it could be Harry, man. Think about it being Harry, and he comes to fight Doc Ock with him. That'd be amazing. Imagine that.
That would not be cool.
It would be so cool having Harry back. Get out of here, man. It'd be amazing.
It better be Willem Dafoe.
He comes along and he's just like, Harry was one of the best arcs in those movies. No, he's one of the best arcs in that movie, man.
He was worse than Venom.
No. No.
The Harry stuff was amazing.
Harry stuff was great. Dude, that part where he turns around and he's eating the pie, dude. There's a reason that's a meme. It's because it's an amazing scene. It's so good.
And then
dude, when he turns around and he just winks at him and he's just like, gotcha, bitch. That was an amazing scene.
He looks and the bus goes by and he disappears, like that movie cliche. Behind the bus.
Yeah.
So but dude, the whole thing of like,
it's so cheesy, but it's great.
The whole thing like, I didn't kill your father. When they fight, he blows up half his face.
Yes.
He's like, hey,
dude.
Then the
when he takes his mask off in Spider-Man 2, and he's like, I'm going to kill you. And it's like, and it turns out to be his best part. That part's amazing, man.
And dude, in the very end, when Harry shows up to fight Sandman with him and then he dies, and he's like,
yes,
we were best friends. And he starts crying.
Wait. That is a good scene, man. It's really good.
The actor who plays him is not good, man. I'm sorry.
Are you serious?
Franco?
What's his name?
Franco is an amazing actor.
He's not incredible.
Oh my God, he's so
good.
Overrated as an actor, dude.
No, he's not. He's not.
That guy. The fact that guy's got an Oscar nomination is a disgrace to the fucking Oscars.
Bro. I agree. He's not
Are you
a great
serious?
Actor.
Have you seen 157
come on,
hours?
dude.
Are you out of your mind?
The Oscars.
Have you seen
the Oscars have been a disgrace for years.
Have you seen 157 hours?
No, I haven't seen the film.
It's 127.
I haven't seen the film, but I don't care.
127 hours. Have you seen that?
Dude, the Oscars have been a disgrace way before him.
He should have been.
Dude. Hey, here's the thing, man. When Shakespeare, Nerdman, when Shakespeare in Love, Nerdman, when Shakespeare in Love won Best Picture over Saving Private Ryan, that was when the Oscars became a joke.
No, wait a second. To be fair to
Shakespeare in Love, dude, won over Saving Private Ryan.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
That's a joke.
To be fair to Shakespeare in Love, it's
a piece of shit.
It's actually a good movie.
It's not. It's a shit, movie. Dude. That movie is shit.
Is Saving Private Ryan 1,000 times better? Absolutely. But
cinematography, score, action, realism. Dude, there were people who they showed that first Beachhead movie thing that were in World War II, and they walked out of the cinema and they were crying because it was that real. Dude, that movie deserved to win Best Picture over that movie, man.
Absolutely.
God damn.
I agree with you, but at least, as I said,
it's a travesty. It's a stain on like the Oscars. It's a stain. No, it deserved to be destroyed. It's an abomination against a holy God.
It's an abomination. If you read Shakespeare, if you've read Shakespeare,
dude, the guy that plays Shakespeare in that is garbage.
Oh, fuck off! He isn't. He's a good actor. He's not bad at all.
I've never seen that movie.
If you've read some Shakespeare and you see the allusions that it makes to Shakespeare plays, it's actually pretty good.
Wait, is that the one with Kenneth Branagh?
No.
It's one with Gwyneth Paltrow. She has it gets her titties out in that movie because she has sex with Shakespeare.
Where Kenneth Branagh's he's kind of like it's like a parody kind of comedy.
William Dafoe. That's not him. That's from the other movie. What are you doing? You're like, this is a picture from the movie. Oh. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's literally leaked.
Get out.
What are you talking
They have
about?
one of Electro too.
That's like saying the next one right over is leaked too, where it says No Way Home. Dude, this is fan made.
Paul.
Fan made. It's fan made.
Dude, came from the same source who leaked the trailer.
Well, guys, share it quickly, and then I've got to go.
Wait,
so we can see what you're talking about, and we'll comment on it, and then I have to go.
You know what I really want to see William Dafoe do? I want him to see him hit him in the back of the head like he does in Spider-Man 1. You and me, we're above these people. We're special. They lived it.
I'm trying to pull up a couple things real quick. Where is this picture at?
Can he please be looking like this? That's what I want. Not this Power Rangers face. They need to use his face and CG it into a mutated goblin face. All got work thing. Have to close quick.
All right, so look at this.
I got a work thing too, where I have to get up in 6 hours.
So this was shared. Leaked pictures were shared for Spider-Man No Way Home. It was this behind the scenes one where they didn't put any CGI on his back.
I mean, the tentacles.
And then the next one, quick.
He's a tentacle monster.
Well, I gotta re-pull it up. I fucking put it away. All right, now here we go.
What did you put away? You put it away.
I put it away in my pocket, and then the same person shared one of Jamie Foxx Electro. I can't find it right now. And then there's this one. And you can see the Green Goblin costume under the hoodie, and then there's one of Electro, and he's wearing a green and yellow like electrician's jacket. And it's Jamie Foxx in his regular skin, not blue.
No, he's wearing his Aquaman outfit, man. This is from Aquaman. He's got the same thing.
We have to talk about that Aquaman outfit, so.
Do we have to?
Do we really have to?
What garbage, dude?
They
had a fire suit.
Wait, Norman, you have to go right now?
About the film.
Wait, what if Spider-Man was Doctor Strange?
I have to go. Literally right now, unfortunately. I didn't really see the timer. At one point, it was like 15 minutes past, and then suddenly it was.
What if Venom goes?
Yeah, we've been at this for 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Dude,
oh, shit.
So here's what I'm gonna say because I have to really hurry off.
Let there be carnage.
I can either leave the stream on and then you can. Actually, I can't.
Nah, it's all good.
You have to end it.
All right.
No, you can't. Yeah, you need to turn it off.
I'll turn it off. Yeah, it will be better. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, guys, thanks so much for joining. You know the score. If you're not subscribed to these guys, they're fire at all of these discussions. They're open to discussing with anybody, and I respect the hell out of them for it. And we all go away friends. Which is better than a lot of the time. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed to these guys already. Love this discussion. Nice to talk to you again, Pickle. It's always been too long. Paul as well. And Fenya, of course, man. Fucking hell, that's been ages. You're welcome.
It's always a pleasure, man.
Yeah,
it's always a pleasure.
But apart from that, like, subscribe, comment. We'll keep the conversation going in the comments. And apart from that, I will see you on the flip side. Love you 3000. Peace, guys.
Peace.
Peace.